live for the first time in 2 months. ESPN MMA brings you live radio-style play-by-play coverage of UFC 249. Oh my God, we're back again. It's Matt Ryan and Harry Terjanian. You see that at the bottom of your screen there at the end of round one. It's Showtime Anthony Pettis against Donald Cowboy Cerrone in our first prelim fight here tonight. Harry, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's been a year. It's been a long time, but finally we're back doing this. The UFC is back with their first fight since UFC Brasilia.
Yes.
And going no crowd tonight. It's an interesting first in a lot of ways. Also, the first time we're seeing, in a long time anyway, Donald Cowboy Cerrone in the prelims.
Yes.
Which I'm not used to seeing.
I'm not a fan of it, to be quite honest with you.
I guess that just speaks to how stacked the card is tonight.
Well, we had another fight between Uriah Hall and Jacare Souza.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to take place on the first fight of the pay-per-view card, but that fight got canceled. You know why, Harry?
Oh, boy. Somebody was late.
No. Jacare and two of his coaches tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah. Okay. Not a great sign.
No, not a good start
Not
at
a
all.
good start, but I guess that's why they have the testing at least. Look, again, I'm always, is this essential? Absolutely.
It's essential to us.
Yeah, but it's in the overall scheme, it's not. I'm still glad they're doing it, to be quite honest. Just it's one of the few sports I think you can sporting events you can conduct with the minimal amount of interaction. So I guess we'll see. This is the first in America anyway. This is not counting professional wrestling, which is its own different sort of animal, and
which is a sport.
It is a sport. It is the greatest sport, by the way.
It is.
There is no sport better.
MMA close second.
I don't care what Tom Segura says, by the way. You got to be ashamed of yourself, Tom, for several reasons. Disappointed in you, man. Disappointed as a fellow comedian who is not anywhere near the level of Tom Segura's success. But this is the first, legitimate sporting event, if you want to call it that America's having. We got greeted with an introduction by the Commander-in-Chief.
Yes, former New Jersey Generals owner Donald Trump.
That's the way you always remember him?
Yep.
Yeah, you'll never forget that.
Killed the football league.
He did kill the football league. What was the story? Wait, I think you were telling me there's some fabrication of this. Didn't he end up almost canceling a boxing pay-per-view or something?
I think he almost canceled Tyson Spinks.
Right. There was some issue with that, and then there was an issue with the Rolling Stones concert that he was holding there too. There was a whole article about that. Where he kept holding press conferences about him. They made him like specifically stop doing press conferences.
That sounds about right.
During the thing, and then Keith Richards threatened to go stab him with a knife. So if you find that story, that's a lot of fun. No stabbing so far tonight.
No,
but the night is young.
Yeah,
UFC 249.
We have a great fight in the Octagon right now. A rematch between Anthony Pettis and Donald Cerrone. We are 3:15 into round number 2. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Janie Summerall Stories. Raw Lane, we're not showing the fight, thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us here tonight. Someone asking, is this fake? No, we are real beings. We are just doing...
Are we fake? Or is the UFC fake? Are you saying that pro wrestling is real, but the UFC is fake?
That could be a conversation for another time.
Okay, that's a conspiracy. If we're all throwing out conspiracy theories, I'll throw that one out there.
Yes, and we are here in the studio in where in New Jersey are we this week?
Secaucus.
Yes,
our
we are.
favorite town, home of the Amigos.
Yes, home of the Amigos.
The famously historic Amigos, the pride and joy of Secaucus, New Jersey. The most proud of the most proud of which is
the
Zach,
pride and joy of
the pride and joy. Zachary Amico, who you can see on Catalyst Wrestling when you have a chance.
Mondays at 6 p.m. on Fight. Cerrone against the cage, trying to fight out of it, looking tired here. Pettis bleeding around the mouth. Look, he's got several cuts, like he got cut shaving around the top of his upper lip. Pettis is back near the cage. Low kick by Cerrone, low kick followed by Pettis, both leading with that left leg.
Does Pettis have more face tattoos? By the way, not on his
those are not face. Yeah, those are two tattoos of people on his face.
Yeah. Oh, there's
chest.
3 total. There's one on his arm.
Yes. So he has multiple people's faces tattooed on him. He does not have any tattoos on his face.
And Cerrone throwing a kick.
Pettis currently on a 2-fight losing streak, losing to Carlos Ferreira. And Nate Diaz has lost 5 of his last 8. His last win was against Stephen Thompson at UFC Fight Night Nashville. And he lands 46% of his significant strikes. And Cerrone, as we all know, lost in the main event of the first pay-per-view this year. Cerrone trying to shoot the takedown, and he gets the left leg of Pettis, and now is in a mount position. Pettis trying to hold on to the neck of Cerrone with 1:09 left to go in round number 2. And Pettis is toes in the cage.
Let's see. And a couple punches to the ribs, Pettis from the bottom.
Pettis is back now against the cage, trying to butt scoot his way back up to a vertical base.
Is that the official name of that move, the butt scoot?
Yes, actually.
All right.
Reverse waistlock and knee attempt by Cerrone, missing wide, but now getting the left shoulder and face of Pettis against the fence. Tried another takedown attempt, to scramble and a head kick missed by Cerrone, but Pettis double backs into the octagon. 31 seconds left to go in round number 2.
Pettis looks gassed here. He looks very, very tired.
He's not as active as Cerrone in the terms of Donald Cerrone will fight anywhere, anytime. There are 3 UFC cards in the next 7 days. Cerrone asked to be on all 3 of them. Spinning heel kick, to the midsection. Trying to go for another takedown. Did Cerrone with 12 seconds left to go in the round. Both men standing in the middle. Cerrone pacing back towards the fence. Kick to the stomach by Cerrone. And an overhand right misses to the temple. And we will go to a third and final round. I'd give that round to Cerrone. Harry?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd probably go with the same. I know he needs this fight kind of badly to get back on pace. You know, I know he doesn't like being in the prelims. That's for sure. No. He's a hell of a competitor, but he admits he wasn't set for that fight with Conor McGregor.
No.
That was a fun one. That seems like years ago at this point.
It feels like an entire lifetime ago. I remember when that fight happened, I had hope, and now, all these many months later, all I have is this mustache.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that. What up with that? What's up with the mustache here? An interesting choice that you went with, the ravishing Rick Rude. What's the
Well, the inspiration was boredom.
Okay.
We have been stuck inside for the better part of 2 months. I landed from Tijuana, Mexico, producing for Major League Wrestling, and then I land back in the United States, and then I can't leave my house for 2 months.
Yeah, everything was shut down, and you chose to deal with that apparently by growing a flavor.
It was either that or killing you, Harry.
Okay.
There were not many options on the table.
All right.
But the way you look, kind of like Lenny Bruce at the end.
Oh, so, yeah. Well, my beard. And I trimmed this down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Oh. Yeah, I had to. At some point, it was becoming very...
You look like you were about to sell me a used VCR. Round number 3 getting started. Cerrone pacing around the center of the octagon. DoorDash, a sponsor of the UFC now. Send us some of that money. But I actually shaved my beard and left the mustache today thanks to our friends at the Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York. You can see behind us the painting of Chubby the Super Dog, who is the mascot of our program. We raised just about $100 for them today, so I decided to shave the beard and leave just the mustache.
Okay.
And Cerrone going for a high kick right under the armpit of Pettis. 4:16 left to go, and we got ourselves a firefight here, Harry. Early in the final prelim of UFC 249 at the top of the hour. We will be carrying every single fight of the main card for you. I'll be calling the action. Harry doing a little bit of the color commentary, and in between, some penis jokes. Who knows?
And maybe some special guests. We don't know.
No.
Whoever we can get a hold of, quarantine-wise. We'll see.
I have not seen Dan A. White in 2 months, and I feel like that's a good thing.
All right.
Last I heard, he was locked down in Baja, California, and he may have been hired by Jesse Ventura to be his campaign manager.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that 2020. Anything can happen if we've learned, and right now, couple punches missed.
Capturing the left leg of Pettis did Cerrone, but Pettis fighting his way out of it, still bleeding around the mouth. 3:30 left to go. Stepping back, going for another left hand, and then a high kick to the head. Pettis blocking both, and Cerrone starting to look a little gassed here. Quick right hand by Pettis towards the temple, but flicked on by Cerrone. This is the game of pacing. Pettis controlling the center of the octagon. But throughout this fight, I'd give this one to Cerrone.
Yeah, Pettis looks exhausted at this point in the fight. And it almost looks like he's catching his breath a little, trying to figure out with less than 3 minutes left in this third and final round.
Shoots that takedown attempt again. Cerrone keeps going for those single leg takedowns and now is trying to go for a waist lock, and Pettis trying to step on the feet. A knee to the midsection by Cerrone to Pettis, landing right in the abdomen, and Pettis starting to limp on that left leg. You can see him favoring it.
And now Cerrone taking control in the middle of the octagon here. It's a little bit. This is weird to see him after the last fight ended so quickly. This one going to the third round.
Well, he wasn't really prepared for McGregor, and he admitted to it. And McGregor is still technically in his prime against an Anthony Pettis, who's in the latter half of his career. He's ranked 15th in the weight class right now. And this guy's a legend, former champion, was on a Wheaties box, for God's sake, but just cannot
Cerrone,
get it going. No, Pettis.
Okay. I'm sorry, you're referring to McGregor there for half a second. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now Pettis again getting control in the middle of the octagon, but
he got poked in the eye, but covering up, but the ref's not stopping it. Referee not letting this one go. Pardon me. And Cerrone not bitching, not complaining, but wanting the referee to see. He was selling that eye poke, and you see him blinking. Still
doing the old Popeye and blinking a little bit.
It's the right eye. He is either hitting on Pettis or got poked in the eye really bad. Still trying to fight through it with 90 seconds left to go in the round. Quick right hand and a spin. Pettis trying to land a huge high kick to the head. He's headhunting Harry. Minute 22 left to go in the round. Interesting
choice by the ref to not stop it, and you got to wonder if the video replay is going to come into a factor at the end.
I don't think it'll. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, so who the hell knows what the rules are? We got a firefight, throwing strikes. Cerrone and Pettis both landing with devastating punches as we go towards 1 minute remaining in the final fight of the UFC 249 prelims. Pettis still limping off that left leg, and Cerrone looking like he can go another maybe minute and a half.
But the video replay can only affect the outcome of the fight, the final sequence. So it won't factor in on my part there.
And it looks like there's a cut on the right eye of Cerrone. Might be from that finger poke in the middle of the round that we were talking about. Another left-right combination by Pettis.
And Cerrone kind of, you can see, favoring that eye, keeps kind of rubbing it in between stance movements and punches.
Trying to shift up his combination, go for the takedown again, and then misses the takedown, misses with a head kick. Both of these guys throwing wild here, just trying to get the finish, trying to get some points on the board. Big right hand by Cerrone, left hand, and Cerrone making Pettis miss and making him work for it here. As time winds down, a head kick, and we will go to the scorecards in Jacksonville. Both men a little bleeded, a little bloody.
A little bloody.
It's been a while, Harry.
That's fine.
I'm getting the wheels back on.
That's fine, and you're drinking. I mean, but between both of those things, you're drinking soda.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
With a little bit of vodka.
Well, listen, it's quarantine times. All the regular rules of broadcasting don't apply.
If Gordon Soley could do it, goddammit, I can do it.
Oh, fair enough. I know you've modeled every part of your career after the great Gordon Soley, which is why you keep referring to the late and great Dusty Rhodes, but they're showing the replay here. And it looks like his eye did get gashed there.
Oh, no, he got gouged. He is not happy about that. He pointed that out on the replay. For those asking for us to turn up the volume, we did our best to do so.
Okay, let us know if we're not coming.
Harry, someone's
clear.
Bryce Hardman in the chat is offering you $500 to punch me in the face.
Here's the problem. That's not the first time someone's offered me that type of money.
No, today.
And unless I get it up front, or at least a 50% deposit, 50% up front, and then 50% after the deal is done.
Exol Gilman says that he makes me want him to drink.
Let's see.
Wesley Bolton saying, "Is this what security cards at a concert feels like while my favorite band plays?" I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means, yeah. I think you thought that was a more interesting status when you read it, and then halfway through you realized that it didn't make sense. Not your fault. They're coming in real quick.
It was the fucking Hindenburg.
Yeah, you're like, well, let's see here. The decision. Bruce Buffer.
Shout out to Havana King in the chat.
After 3 rounds. Judges scorecard. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28. The winner by unanimous decision, Anthony Showtime Pettis.
Anthony Pettis getting the win, and Donald Cerrone with that loss.
And now we'll hear Joe Rogan.
That's Cerrone's 4th loss in a row.
Oh, boy.
Breaks a 2-fight losing streak for Pettis. And what's he saying, Harry?
He says, "I'll take it, but Did you think he won? He says, no, I thought it was close. He's a legend. We're friends. He hit me, I hit him. That's what it's all about. It was a wild fight for sure, says Rogan. Were you concerned at all for the takedowns as well? He didn't do nothing with the takedowns. He didn't do anything with it. I don't know. I just fought off my back. He landed some big shots. It could have went either way. I don't know. Rogan saying thank you for the fight. Anthony Pettis. Disappointing for Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
Like you said, the 4th loss in a row.
Against another former champion. Taking a look here at the chat. Thank you to Lewis Ferguson all the way from Scotland saying love that you guys are doing this and much love coming from Scotland. We are really happy to be broadcasting all around the world.
Yeah, this feels great. I mean, it's been a while since we've gotten to do any type of broadcasting. I know we've been doing a couple podcasts with different things, but it's, doing the sports stuff. It's not the same. Let me adjust this. UFC 249 as we get ready for what is a pretty stacked card.
It's a good card tonight. We'll get the garbage out of the way early. Greg Hardy will be taking on the undefeated Yorgan De Castro in our first fight. Then we've got a game fight between two tough sumbitches. It'll be Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. And then in the co-main of the co-main event, we've got a heavyweight fight. It's essentially a heavyweight title eliminator between Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Francis Ngannou. Ngannou riding a 3-fight win streak all by stoppage against Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez, and Curtis Blades. And Rozenstruik has won 90% of his fights, Harry, by knockout or TKO.
That's right. And after that, Henry Cejudo against 22-2 Dominick Cruz, who is
fighting for the first time in 4 years. A former 2-time bantamweight champion going up against Cejudo, who's making his first defense of the bantamweight title. He won back in 2019.
And then the main event of the evening, Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje. Gaethje, I'm sorry. I always pronounce things wrong, man. And I don't drink. I'm sober.
No,
Gaethje.
You're just terrible.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Even though I know what his name is pronounced, it weirds me out. I'm so focused on getting it right that I mess it up, which is why I'm stuck here in Secaucus, New Jersey. But as we see some of the highlights start, some interesting stuff going on. Obviously, this show being done without a crowd.
Yes.
No audience to speak of.
In the world's toilet, Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, I mean, is it the worst part of Florida? There's a lot
It's
of
the
crappy.
Panhandle.
It is. What's worse, Jacksonville or Gainesville?
Oof. Well, they're
Gainesville,
like right next to each other.
I don't know. It's shout out to Florida for making combat sports essential. Really, I think should we be thanking the WWE for this?
Yeah.
To be quite honest, because I don't know if the UFC pulled the strings. The WWE certainly maybe, I think, made it happen.
No comment.
Well, I don't know. Whatever. Follow the politics, I guess. Again, I'm happy that it's going down. I'm happy to have any sports whatsoever, including professional wrestling. So Florida is now basically the epicenter of combat sports and sports at the moment in general.
Coming to you from the sports capital of the world, Florida. As someone who's watched Tampa Bay Devil Rays games on television, I really can't see Florida as the sports capital of the world.
Hey man, strange things happen during a pandemic, bro.
That's true.
Somehow.
And if you're watching along in the chat, we'll be answering questions all night long. We'll be giving shout outs. We'll be doing what we always do here. If you're watching us for the fourth, some people watching us for the 4th time, shout out to the guy in the chat. I didn't catch your name, but thank you for riding with us once again. This is like the 9th time we've done this. We started with Bellator on our couch. Then we were in a what seemed to be the den of some sort of Sicario. And ever since then, we've been in the studio here in Secaucus. And Wesley Bolton saying Daytona Spring Break is pretty annoying. That's a fair question.
Pretty annoying,
that's
but
a fair
that's
answer.
only, 2 weeks out of the whole year that goes down. Gainesville and Jacksonville, I don't say.
Callum asking, what the fuck are your glasses? Is he talking about mine or yours?
I think mine are tinted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tinted.
I've just become who I am.
It's 2020. Would you just
college
get out
professor?
of? You just get out of a prison? I mean, he thinks I'm from the future because I got like a 10% tint on my glasses. All right. Well, anyway, some beautiful highlights here of the wonderful city of Jacksonville, Florida. Excited.
It's a bridge. That's it. That's all Jacksonville has.
To be the center of attention for something other than gators eating babies, Jacksonville, Florida. home to UFC 249, the start of sports returning to America.
The only way the city of Jacksonville was going to get a UFC pay-per-view was because of a pandemic. So right now, Ron DeSantis thanking his lucky stars. And we're getting things off, kicking things off here with John Anik just staring into the camera. I like John Anik.
I do as well.
But we're good.
Well, John Anik, if you see the setup, it's interesting. If you got to watch the prelims at all, you can see that they have actually separated all three color commentators tonight. John Anik, Joe Rogan, and Daniel D.C. Cormier.
The rightful UFC heavyweight champion.
The rightful UFC heavyweight champion. Oh, now they are close together. This defeats the
Too close, man. You're too close.
They are not social distancing.
No.
I mean, they're standing a lot farther apart than they normally would, but thus defeating the entire purpose of spending the color commentary section.
And I was asked earlier this week, Harry, if we would be social distancing, but the sad thing is we share proximity to one another.
Yes, we do live in the same domicile.
Yes.
In separate bedrooms now. Oh, but that's only a recent development.
That's
we
because
sleep, well, we sleep in. You remember I Love Lucy, where Lucy and Desi would be in the same bedroom,
like in the
but
Dick
they
Van
slept.
Dyke Show?
Yeah, they slept in the same. They slept in the
same
bedroom,
room in different beds.
But different beds, different twin beds. But very odd for them to be standing. They are standing far apart, but not 6 feet apart, and then they will go back to their broadcast positions, which is apparently on different sides of the octagon.
And let's go to the...
God bless them, but this is why we don't allow people to do this stuff.
Exactly. Let's go to the chat really quick. Lewis Ferguson asking, do you guys just watch UFC or do boxing too? We'd love to do boxing, but we get paid primarily to just do UFC.
Yeah,
but if you let people know on social media, you can see our social media handles at the bottom. I'm at MRyan Consulting, and Harry's at Harry Terjanian. If you want the people at ESPN to have us cover boxing once boxing's a thing again. Someone's asking about the baseballs behind us. There's Pete Rose and
Gary Gaethje.
No, it's not. No? It's not Gary Gaethje.
Oh, sorry.
It is. It's a former New York Mets pitcher from the 1980s, and I cannot.
Let me ask you this: is there a little bit of white residue on the ball?
It is not. No.
That'll narrow it down, but only slightly.
Boat dock, plane crash.
What? The boat dock? Oh, jeez. I don't from the Mets.
86 Mets plane crash.
I don't know enough of that. I'm sorry about that.
But
I'm a Yankees guy.
When I was broadcasting for the Brooklyn Cyclones, yes, I'm actually a professional broadcaster. I met this. Cannot remember his name. It's fucking killing me.
Oh boy. Well, there you go. An interesting story, nonetheless, about the baseball in the back. And do we see the picture of Bobby Bonilla? Is he He's not, unfortunately. In the frame this time. The smartest man to ever play for the New York Mets, Bobby Bonilla.
God bless Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla Day coming up right around my birthday.
There you go.
Callum asking, how are you two the most entertaining people doing a UFC watch-along on YouTube? Well, Harry's been a stand-up comedian for nearly 20 years.
And a broadcaster as well. And Matt Ryan over here has been broadcasting since he left his mother's womb.
Yes, I've been yelling at microphones since I could remember.
And every sport. I mean, his coverage of highlight, magnifique.
Canadian curling, you can listen to my...
name it, he'll do it. If there's somebody willing to give him $5 and a hot dog, he will be there with a microphone and a press hat on. Lickety-split.
Someone asking about the Greg Hardy fight. Yeah, asking was he suspended from the NFL. Letty 420 for life. Hi, buddy. How are ya?
I mean, permanent suspension. I do believe. Technically, I guess he could still come back.
Yeah, something involving throwing someone on a bed of guns was a bit of a problem.
Yeah, they tend to frown upon that.
Yes.
In there.
After he couldn't hang with the Dallas Cowboys.
He got kicked off the Dallas Cowboys.
He got kicked off the Dallas Cowboys.
To quote Dennis Miller, that was like when Izzy Stradlin got kicked out of Guns N' Roses. You go, what do you have to do to get kicked out of Guns N' Roses? But
salute, Lenny 420. I'm gonna need to refresh this gimmick in a minute. But Jorgen De Castro, a custodian at a Boston area high school, undefeated in the UFC. It's his second fight in the UFC, undefeated in his career, his second fight inside the Octagon since winning on Dana White's Contender Series. Won his first fight against Justin Tafa at UFC 243. I believe we called that card. He's won all but one fight by stoppage.
Oh, wow.
All but one fight has come by stoppage.
And going up against Greg Hardy, the former Dallas Cowboy turned mixed martial artist who is 5-2-0. And,
5-2-0 and 1 no contest.
And I forgot about the issue with the asthma pump.
Yeah.
That took
his first fight in the UFC. He illegally kicks a man in the face or knees the man in the face while he's down because he's gassed. Then he knocks out a couple people. He's 1-1-0 and 1 no contest in his last 3 fights. All of them inside the UFC.
Yeah, and then, of course, the controversy of whether or not he should have been allowed to use an asthma inhaler during the fight. But nonetheless, 5-2-0. And, he fought Tomato Can. Sorry.
Yeah, Tomato Can.
Tomato. I thought that was a fighter. I don't remember a guy named Tomato.
Callum asking for a judging on the Waterson fight. We're actually getting tech set up during that. Esparza, I really don't know if she deserved the win. Waterson is one of the top competitors in the division. I'm more concerned about the judging of the Pettis-Cerrone fight. I think Cerrone controlled the pace of that fight, was the aggressor during most of it, but it's Florida.
Miss round 1 setting up, doing some introduction, so maybe round 1 was a dominant performance from Anthony Pettis, but, it was a unanimous decision. It wasn't even a split decision. So, more bad news for Cowboy Cerrone, who continues to kind of plummet.
One of our most loyal fans, police are a joke, 100 real shit in life. I want to see Tony win this fight. Fair point.
Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, Tony Ferguson in the main event. A lot of people predicting. Let us know throughout the night your predictions for the fight. They're showing the rules of the Octagon. If you don't know the rules of the Octagon, 3 judges will score the bout, 3 5-minute rounds, but for main event and championship fights, 5 5-minute rounds.
That's correct.
Winner of the round will get 10 points. Loser will get 9 or fewer based on effective striking, grappling aggression, and Octagon control, and whether or not the person judging the fight was actually watching.
And it's Jacksonville, so moonshine is present.
Yup. Kyle O'Donnell with our first D's nuts of the evening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
Limited
Took a lot
use
of effort to type.
Main card is about to start in a moment. Thank you for being a part of the conversation and being a part of our little fun family here. We continue to do these cards with you in every pay-per-view as long as they'll have us. We will be bringing you the action all night long. And
it's a stacked card, so you're in for a real good one.
At least us getting mad at varying points.
Sure.
Yes. Greg Hardy and Castro looking like the 2 toughest guys on a semi-pro football team.
Yeah, they do look like badasses, but not a ton of muscle definition from the 2. But Greg Hardy showing a couple highlights. Former
All-Pro defensive end for the Tennessee Titans, and a person with an interesting. We were talking about Pettis and Cerrone being a fight on the prelims. And Greg Hardy is getting a main card fight on pay-per-view.
What is the thought process behind that? Do you think it's just because Dana has lost kind of faith in Cerrone?
No, I think it's because they continue to push Greg Hardy. A lot of people were pissed off at how CM Punk got major opportunities in his only 2 fights in the UFC. And he got pinatted both times.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy,
on the other hand,
has... He did a Dana White and blamed the media after his first fight for his loss.
Okay.
And went off on a whole tirade for our British fans out there. It's just they're continuing to push him because they think it'll help draw in casual sports fans, or at least it'll draw enough eyes on them. And that's a thing that mixed martial arts and pro wrestling have done for Infidom. Like, that's a part of it. That's a part of the whole deal, and I'm not a big fan of it. I really don't know how to take Greg Hardy. I really don't know how to take Greg Hardy as a fighter or as a person.
You look at some of the highlights. You look at, winning 100% of his fights by KO or TKO. There's something interesting to watch with him. I know he's a newer fighter.
It's an attraction, but it's an interesting conversation. Johnny GG said, "Tell my wife she should watch you guys instead of me spending $65 on the pay-per-view." So thank you, Johnny GG and his wife.
Say hello to the missus for you, Johnny GG. And doing these shots, Megan Olivi or Olivi. Megan Olivi. Still doing the standing shot.
Yeah. And here comes Jorgen De Castro walking into the Octagon.
The Portuguese flag, and then the other flag I don't recognize.
Neither do I. It could be Fredonia.
Nice. see here, making his way. Cape Verde.
He's Cape Verdean.
There we go. That'll explain that flag.
And we are getting ready for our first fight of the evening. If you do not want to spend the $70 on UFC 249, or if you're watching UFC 249 and you want an alternative commentary track, we're here for you. If you want to buy the pay-per-view, there is a UFC 249 ESPN Plus link in the description, so you could do that and help us out here at SBN MMA. So if you want to do that, that would be awesome. But we're here to bring you every single fight of the main card. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Harry Terjanian, and we'll be here until all the fights are over, or there's no more vodka to drink, depending upon what goes on.
There'll always be more vodka. If you have to suck it out of the carpet, that'll happen. But as we see the preparation, interesting to see all the crew members, all the teams wearing proper protective gear, masks, and gloves.
None of them wearing the official UFC face mask.
No, which is available.
Yes.
I will say at least 100% of the charity goes to help with COVID-19 relief. So those are available.
And also, if you are willing to, give us a little bit of money tonight in the donate button, please also think of donating to first responders, donating to those fighting against COVID-19 and fighting to ensure that we're out of our house and we can actually go to fights again. Let's take a look at some of the stats for Castro. He's 90% of his fights have come by victory by TKO or KO. All but one of them. All of his fights in the UFC have come by way of stoppage. Natalia 19124 says she has plenty of vodka. Send some my way.
Yeah.
And Chip Valandia is saying if you guys want to give a shout out to all the essential workers. Fuck yeah, we do. Shout out to all of you guys. All of our friends, all of our close people in our lives, and everyone who's out there in the world right now, making sure that things are getting back to normal, or at least there's some level of normalcy. We both grew up in New York City, so
right.
it's a big part of who we are. Shout out to all of you guys, and we're so glad that we can entertain you during all this nonsense. We hope that you and yours are safe, you and yours are protected. Stay the fuck inside unless you are one of those, essential workers. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of others. We all want to see you on the other side of this and go down to a bar and have a drink. So thank you. We salute you.
Thank you very much. And Greg Hardy making his way to the Octagon with his crew in hand.
Shout out to Kenny Body out there in the chat. And everybody is loving vodka.
Oh, vodka? Well, I mean, it's always been popular. I didn't know that was on the bubble here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you can show love, I guess. Yeah, forget. And you look at the list of the winners. The last couple fights, 45 seconds, 53 seconds, 17 seconds, 57 seconds, and then the marathon at 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's all of his
Greg
wins.
Hardy's. That's
Once my man gets past the first round, it's knee him in the face.
Yeah.
Gimmick with an asthma pump.
Yeah.
Or throw someone on a bed of guns.
Yeah, if he ever gets to the 5th round, who knows what kind of craziness he's going to do.
He thinks he can fight for a title.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Let him fight Rozenstruik. Let him fight Ngannou.
If the record keeps building up, I guess he's entitled to an opportunity. Stranger things have happened. I mean, there's always doubt. For every CM Punk that comes in from the outside world and goes 0-2, you have people like Brock Lesnar who show up, who it's
greatest
not
heavyweight of all time. Greatest heavyweight of all time.
Yeah, and so it's not crazy. I mean, controversy follows the man, but it's 5-2-0.
Let's take a look at the stats here. Hardy's 31, Castro 33. Hardy a 5-inch height advantage, 6'5" to 6 foot of Castro, will walk in 3.5 pounds heavier than the 262-pound Castro, and a 6.5-inch reach advantage for Hardy, 80.5 inches to 74 inches. Hardy outclasses him in a lot of ways, Harry, but you can't count out the underdog, especially the longer this fight goes and more of Hardy's win. Hardy is an asthmatic during all this COVID-19 stuff, and also you're in Florida. It's near the swamps. It's going to be more humid. Even though you're in an air-conditioned building. There's a lot of red flags here for Greg Hardy, but this is not a tomato can fight. This is not a gimme fight for Greg Hardy. He walks into this the underdog.
Yeah, he does, but I mean, I think he's been an underdog in most of his fights, or it's just there's not been much expected of him. Everyone keeps waiting for the other shoe to drop with Greg Hardy, and so far, again, 5-2-0.
And according to our producer, Pat LaPrade Jr., De Castro is undefeated as a pro, but on the amateur circuit, he went 1-2. Hardy went 3-0 with 3 knockouts.
Yeah.
Hardy also trained by American Top Team, so he's a part of one of the strongest MMA camps. He does this full time. He can afford to do this full time. He walks in tonight the Vegas favorite at -210. De Castro is, as we said when he was walking down to the Octagon, his primary job is to be a custodian at an area school in Boston. So you gotta admit, De Castro walks in here with a lot of red flags. There's a lot of potential stuff, but if he could take Hardy into deep water, if he could make Hardy try to overthink and if he makes that wrong one-snap decision that we know Hardy knows how to do, he will make that wrong decision at some point. It may screw him over.
Well, I mean, that's the reality of it, but we're about to start up. Here we go. Some sports.
De Castro with a right hand to Hardy. And we're standing in the middle and trading here. De Castro bringing the pressure. Low kick to Hardy. Hardy back near the Octagon. He'll circle and take the center. Both men in the middle. Low kick by Hardy. De Castro just throwing that right hand. Push kick by Hardy. 4:39 left to go in round 1. Low kick by De Castro.
A lot of speed on those kicks and punches from Castro, not just power as well.
Built like John Allstott. Built like a fullback. He's small, thick, but powerful and has a quick first step. Hardy feigning a right hand. Low kick by Hardy.
Hardy
doesn't
looking
land.
a little slow to me.
I think,
but maybe just in comparison.
De Castro is a quick-moving guy, and that first step ability for Hardy as a defensive end was a great asset, but we're not seeing it here.
And both fighters trading some shots here in the center of the Octagon, and then just kind of pacing here after the quick start from De Castro.
Mafi Anda saying, I look like I sell ice cream. Thank you.
Doesn't sell it, but he's near it.
I have a proximity to ice cream at all times.
Oof.
Quick right hand, low right hand uppercut into a quick left hook by De Castro. Both men standing in the center of the Octagon. 3:46 left to go in round number 1. Left hand by Hardy. Missed right hand by De Castro. Hardy also hunched over, not using all of his height. He's not standing high. He keeps his hands low, and he keeps his body low, giving De Castro a little bit of an angle on his chin.
Couple snap punches there thrown from Hardy, but again, I feel like he's moving a little bit slow. Not necessarily sluggish, but just not having the speed.
Circling around here, 3:14 low kick to the knee by De Castro, met by a right hand by Hardy. Not phasing him, using his height did Hardy for a head kick. That was blocked by De Castro. 1-2 combination, only landing a left hook. Did De Castro swinging wildly, Hardy backing away and using that height and reach advantage, Harry.
It's interesting. Some of the things Hardy's doing look very unorthodox or just, kind of minor league. And then other things start looking really good. Like the kicks have been looking really good for Hardy. So, I mean, it's still a learning process for him, but you can see where he's kind of improving. But De Castro... and very focused, not being fazed by anything so far. Hardy trying to throw a couple punches from the center of the Octagon, but both fighters kind of facing each other, pacing it out at this point.
2:22 left to go in round number 1. And Hardy gets caught with a right hand, stumbles back, but stays vertical. Low kick by De Castro. Standing in the center, 2:07 left to go. Hardy's still hunched over. He's not using his height. He's not protecting his face. He's opening the door for a potential devastating right hand by De Castro, keeping that right arm down. And low kick by De Castro to the knee of Hardy.
And this far, well past 3 minutes into the... actually, well past 2 minutes here. We're approaching the longest that Hardy has been in an Octagon.
if he gets the win after this round, it's the longest he's gone to get a victory. Once he goes past the second round, he's gotten losses. Both of his losses and the no contest came in fights that went past the second round.
Yeah, he's just not used to being this far into it on occasion. Certainly not the last couple fights here.
Tony L. Fauci Ferguson shouting out the Stash Finex 1 saying, thank you to everybody giving us love. And we got a firefight. They're fighting in a phone booth. Hardy and DeCastro throwing hands. DeCastro near the cage. Head kick attempt by Hardy misses. Quick left-right combination by DeCastro doesn't land. 1:05 left to go in round number 1.
But DeCastro unfazed, still standing there. Almost no selling the kicks. He's not being moved, not being phased.
He will not be deterred, but you can see he's breathing heavy.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, another jab there by Hardy.
That left jab, he's leading with that left jab, but he's got his hands low. He's got his hands too low for my liking. 40 seconds now left to go in round number 1. Pacing around, Hardy controlling the center of the octagon, but pushing DeCastro closer and closer to the fence. Went for a low kick attempted. Hardy did not land.
And a very, very, very...
And you can see that left leg. Someone in the chat, Callum, saying Greg's leg is a little fucked, and it looks a little bad.
From some of the kick. Ooh, the knee looks in particular... Looks like he got a sunburn. And we're approaching...
Head kick
10
Hardy.
seconds here left in the first round.
DeCastro.
What feels like a long first round.
It does.
I wrong?
It felt draggy. It felt draggy.
I mean, there was a lot of action in it, but it did not... It felt like that lasted forever.
And he takes his mouth, and Hardy's mouthpiece
He is breathing
hanging
heavy.
out the side.
Again, he doesn't, he doesn't go very long in these, during these fights. Normally, he's usually out and dressed for dinner at this point.
Not to suggest that DeCastro is short and stubby, but some people might be saying this is what Daniel Cormier would look like with a mohawk.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Cormier really we're gonna see post quarantine Cormier, maybe that's what it would look like. But DeCastro was impressive. I mean, physique aside, you can see the highlights as he's just laying into the back of the knee of Hardy with those kicks several times in the first round.
Dr. Icon asking, where's the guy with the beard? That's me. That would be me.
We raised money. For some reason, people like...
look at that knee. It is inflamed. The left knee of Greg Hardy is inflamed, and it's slowly growing out. Hardy, a fan of fast cars, Harry. If you give him one reason to stay here, he'll turn right back around and we'll pump from his inhaler.
Oh, jeez. Don't look in the trunk either, though. I have a feeling.
Standing in the middle. Low kick by Hardy going after that left
DeCastro.
leg. And Hardy keeping the fight standing. And he trains an American Top Team. You would think he would try to use his size and strength to try to take and muscle down DeCastro and slow the pace of this fight down. Try to get a knockout from the top. And now DeCastro just swinging on him. And Hardy stepping back. Looking like a Pistons Celtics fight in '86.
A quick barrage forward to Castro and then back. He's able to really have those bursts. And Hardy both fighters actually pacing the center of the octagon here.
Yes, I'm President Teddy Roosevelt for the person asking in the chat. 4:12 left to go in round number 2.
Bully.
Bully, rocking everywhere. Standing in the middle of the octagon, Hardy slumped over. You could see him sweating hard, sweating like Stephen Avery, according to a Wisconsin district attorney.
Oh, boy.
And DeCastro also a little tired, got a little bit of that Zandig muscle gut.
Shout out to our friend Ken Kratz, our buddy.
Ugh. If a cancer diagnosis was a person, it'd be Ken Kratz. Standing in the middle of the octagon, and Hardy continuing to hunch lower, hunch slow, just keep hunching, and it's not doing him any good. He's not using his size, his strength. Went for a modified Superman punch, and Hardy looking like he needs that inhaler bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's breathing heavy, but still in this. I mean, I think so far DeCastro has this fight in hand, but, Hardy's not out of it by any means. He's, that knee is looking terrible, though. Again, really more the back of the hamstrings and the thigh there. But just reddened by the kicks, the barrage of strikes from DeCastro.
And feigning a left jab, and DeCastro pulling back. Hardy slow, goes for a low kick to the left knee of DeCastro, landing but not really doing much damage. Hardy looking tired against DeCastro. DeCastro a little tired, a little heavy, little logy.
But focused, very calm.
Taking his time and pacing. And Hardy looking like a guy who's watched a bunch of MMA and tries to mock some of the styles, but not really effective here in this second round.
Yeah, you can almost see the gears kind of turning in his head as he's trying to figure it out, but... And both fighters just sort of facing off against each other here. De Castro not going in, you know, every once in a while he's capable of those bursts, but he's kind of picking and choosing when he goes in for that.
De Castro's main move inside the octagon is a Jorgen grinder. And Hardy, doubling back there, was on his tippy toes to avoid that punch by De Castro in the middle of the octagon. Now, minute 57 left to go in round number 2. And the deeper this fight goes, the more Greg Hardy is beginning to show signs of fatigue. He's moving, he's active, but he's not throwing with the same amount of proficiency. High head kick by Hardy missed, and he's not utilizing his reach. He's letting Castro come in. And at the beginning of the round, they were fighting in a phone booth, and De Castro got the better of it. Hardy missing badly with a left hook attempt.
And this is another round that feels like it's going slowly. Am I wrong here? These are 3-minute rounds.
It's because there's not a lot of activity, and De Castro's just biding his time. He's using the Homer Simpson offense. He's letting Hardy tire himself out and then bops him at the right time and builds up points and gets the win, or will push him over like a boxcar schmo. Minute 7 left to go in the fight. Missing with that right hand did Hardy on De Castro. Went for a quick right hand. Right cross, as it were, and did not land. 55 seconds left to go in round number 2.
Sweat dripping down the back of the unfinished tattoos of Greg Hardy.
You would think he could afford to finish them all in one go.
Maybe that's one of the tragedies of this quarantine, my friend.
You know, that's a shame.
It might be one of the tragedies.
Pour one out for Greg Hardy's back tattoo. Looks like something I made in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Left hand by Hardy, landing his first fight in what feels like first punch in what feels like forever.
Not a lot of power on those punches, too. They land. Some power on those kicks that he's throwing, though, but...
I think he tired his arms out. It looks like he's dragging his arms.
Well, you know...
He keeps them down, and he keeps that... Like, he'll raise his arms up for a second, but he's keeping his arms low. I don't know what's going on with him.
I think he might just be physically tired from it. I mean, he is a big guy, and he's sort of... You know, he's trying to box out there, and that takes a toll on you.
And that'll be the end of round 2 somehow, some way. Greg Hardy limping on that left leg, looking tired. Taking a look at the replay here, and there's that low kick.
Another one.
And then you can see De Castro was favoring his foot there. He might have caught the toe against the knee. He swiped it, and you can see the left leg of Hardy. It is turning magenta. It is that level of inflamed.
Let's hear what the corners have to say. Castro's corner. Just trying to tell him, or I'm trying to figure out what he's saying there. Sorry, just to fake some shots and then kick hard.
Shout out to JM joining us again, and Dustin Marshall saying, I love the commentary by out-of-shape John Wick and the illegitimate child of Carrot Top and Freddie Mercury.
John Wick. Oh, jeez.
That's
I'll take that. That's a nice one. Finally. Out of shape or not, I'll take it.
Mike Main saying, I think men should earn the right to sport a cookie duster. Matt, what do you think? That's from Akira Wong. I think I earned this. I earned this mustache.
Couple big right hand from Hardy to start, but one in return from De Castro.
And now we're standing and trading. Hardy knowing he needs to get the finish here to win this fight. Big left hook that goes nowhere by Hardy. Pushing near the octagon. Left hand by De Castro barely lands. Both of them dancing around the center of the octagon. De Castro holding center position.
Another kick by De Castro.
De Castro trying to do something that the Red Sox are unable to do. Get a victory. Robbie Barstool saying Hardy's thighs look like an actual Easter ham, and they are not looking good. Just chopping wood here. With 4:16 is De Castro standing in the middle of the ring. Hardy dragging that lead leg, which you usually don't see. The lead leg does not get dragged.
Yeah, well, that...
And he's kicking with the lead leg that has been inflamed. He's going for a low kick with that inflamed left leg. You would think he would switch up his stance, go for a takedown, something to try to break this offense.
It's been more of the same. I mean, just more of the same. Both fighters feeling each other out in the octagon, but De Castro... gets that barrage and then steps back. Gets that barrage of strikes, then steps back. And he's fully in control of this fight. And Greg Hardy is not doing anything. And we have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third and final round of this fight. And again, Greg Hardy must most certainly be behind on points at this point.
He's got to finish here. We'll look to the chat really quick. Jason Alba is jealous of our hair. Cash says, you guys are lads. Keep this shit up. Shout out to Brian Hardin, a new fan. Thanks for converting to the faith. Subscribe to SBN MMA if you like what you're doing. Donate to the super chat down below. And we're thankful that you're joining us here tonight. Be sure to follow us on Twitter as well. Hardy still dancing around the octagon, goes for a low kick again with that left goddamn leg.
He's got 2 minutes and 50 seconds to do something here to win this fight, because if he keeps doing this...
He's a defensive end and he doesn't know how to go for a takedown?
I mean, I don't know what the thought process is. I'm sure his corner...
I'm mad at whoever was his defensive coordinator or his tackling coach.
Well, he's not used to taking someone down without throwing him on a pile of guns, huh?
Waggity schmackety, it happened. Natalia.
The
Castro slipped.
Now he's on the ground. Hardy trying to take advantage, but still kind of not going in. Punching his shins.
Punching him in the knee.
Like a bully trying to steal your lunch money.
Just punching him about the kneecaps.
And the Castro.
Just.
Ooh, a punch to the inner thigh.
And Herb Dean saying, come on, keep it going. We got to fight here.
Well.
Got to push it.
There is activity going on, so it's not like Herb Dean has to stop it. But Hardy's still kind of being very cautious and careful.
He's not willing to be the aggressor. He knows he's tired, and if he gets caught, it's over. Minute 47 left to go.
And De Castro's still on his back.
He'll stay. He's got the lead right now. He's not going to get this won't deduct any points. He can concede a little bit to Hardy, because Hardy's... you can look it on Hardy. He's exhausted, and Hardy just walked away.
Interesting. His corner, De Castro's corner, was shouting for him to get up, and that you can kind of hear with no crowd. It's an interesting night. You can hear a lot more of the cornermen shouting instructions.
Be sure to share this across your favorite social media. Text a friend, text an enemy. Even if they don't like MMA, have them stay for the jokes and our clinical depression. Minute 3 left to go in the round. Hardy and De Castro, our opening fight of UFC 249.
And De Castro, Hardy just going for more of the same. Maintaining his position in the center of the octagon, throwing a couple strikes and kicks here and there, and then making nothing out of it.
Shout out to Chris Harwell, a new fan. You know, Harry, Brittany Palmer is the lone Octagon girl here tonight. It's her 12th year in the business, longer than some fighters' careers. And she raised eyebrows back in 2013 when she revealed that cage card girls were suggested to cut weight before fights.
Oh, my God. A weight cut. Oh. And they don't do those. They'd probably, if they actually did the weigh-ins for those, I guess that would be problematic. When did she say that? 2012?
2013.
2013? Oh. Well, they still get treated better than the Laker girls. So that's... And again, nothing. I mean, we're talking about anything but what's going on in this fight because there's nothing happening. More of the same for Greg Hardy.
Just the Lambada forbidden dance, and Greg Hardy will try to get a win by decision, technically for the second time of his career, but officially for the first time in his career.
Greg Hardy might have a broken toe.
De Castro may have a broken toe from that kick that he delivered earlier in the fight. We saw that in the second round. That kick, it kind of screwed up one of his toes.
Well, he didn't look as bad as Hardy did. Hardy kind of limping out, and you can kind of see some bruising on the toes of Hardy, but the highlights are a lot of kicks to the knees of Hardy over and over again. I mean, Greg Hardy landed a couple big punches and a couple big kicks, but nothing
was not
of
that
major
effective.
impact.
No.
Yeah, and more highlights, a good right hand from Hardy. But everything was returned at least 4-1 on the part of De Castro. So I'd be really shocked if he doesn't win this based on a unanimous decision.
It's Florida.
There we go, and Herb Dean. And Bruce Buffer wearing his Cosby sweater turned sport coat. Looking like the wallpaper of an old folks' home. But still looking fabulous, though. Here we go. Judge's decision. All 3 judges scored it. 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision. Greg Hardy.
According to what? What? Fucking Florida?
Oh.
Did they watch the same fight we did?
I'm listening to Joe Rogan. Greg Hardy, thank God for not having a crowd. Thanking DC for telling him to check him. I guess meaning the kicks. Joe Rogan saying you've gone for a wild ride, going from 2 years for your first MMA fight to fighting Volkov, who's a champion. What has this been like to you, and how do you feel about this victory? I feel like I'm going to Disney World. It's been a roller coaster. The next appropriate stop is the Joe Rogan Show. Rogan says, let's do it. Greg Hardy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, okay. I guess he heard Cormier tell him to check him from the commentary. Because there's no crowd. That's why he was thanking the crowd. And DC saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to listen to the commentary here a little bit to see if they're as confused as we are, but thus far they're not sharing any surprise. I mean, we
This is
both.
what I think of this. This is exactly what I think of it.
That's odd, right?
It's bullshit, Harry.
All right. That's the appropriate response. You are emptying the bottle. And no comment really from the UFC fighters. They're going to Megan O'Leary.
You finished my whiskey?
Oh, boy.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, fuck.
Dan A. White. All right. I guess we are getting an appearance.
I didn't know he was here.
Oh, no. No. I thought... Oh, no. All right, hold on. Dan A. White, no relation to Dana.
No, legally,
White.
no.
Legally, a different person entirely.
Could still be voted governor of Florida, though.
That is possible, and could win it in a landslide too.
You finished all my vodka. You get naked.
Oh no!
I don't want
Dan
naked
White.
Dan. I don't want the naked puppet.
Dan A. White, if you're just joining us for the first time, has a propensity for getting very drunk belligerently and then getting completely naked. It's
Now,
very.
wait a second, that's a lie. I'm belligerent whether or not I'm drunk.
He's saying.
Take my shirt, you
Oh,
mustachioed, vodka-stealing
Oh
sad man.
no!
That was accurate, though.
Excuse me, Dan A. White.
There's a shoe.
There's a shoe from Dan A. White.
You need to have a shoe.
It's got the chancleta
Oh
of
my
a
God! Throwing shoes.
Spanish
at us.
Harlem grandmother.
Throwing a shoe at us like we're a president making a visit to Iraq in circa 2008, and a Christmas sweater. Oh no!
Why does he own a Christmas sweater?
It's Christmas all year round. It's when you can drink this much and no one really cares.
Yeah,
That's quarantine.
the
Dan.
quarantine has hit Dan A. White very hard. Maybe we'll get an actual appearance on camera from Dan A. White. Or not. He's passed out. Okay,
Yes,
he's
and
passed out on
he's
the.
passed. Yep.
That does not mean
he is falling
He
asleep
is-
on my record collection.
he passed out. Spread eagle. Cheeks akimbo on your record collection. And okay.
Only for the hardcore UK raver.
Okay,
Oh,
he's belligerent.
he's fucked.
I'm glad Dan. Okay, I think he thinks he's playing your records now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Little Richard. I guess that's his tribute to the late Little Richard who
Yeah.
passed on today. Okay. All right.
Let's go to the chat. Yes, Matt breaking out the drinks, making Matt drink more. Good idea, Matt.
All right.
When Matt, the more Matt's commentary gets uncanny, the more he drinks.
Oh yeah. Well, it gets.
It's a superpower. The more I drink, the better my commentary.
There we go. That's why the great broadcasters did it. The greats of all time. Let me.
Harry, do you want to talk about what we had to deal with before we went on air today?
Yeah.
All of our equipment died.
Yeah.
We're coming to you from a Logitech web camera instead of our usual camera.
Our usual high. It still looks pretty decent, but we had to put together things last minute. I I guess we can blame the quarantine, right? I mean, look, Jimmy Fallon's doing it, but we've
Yeah.
always been doing the show from this location,
Yes.
so we can't even act like
No.
we're short on equipment.
Oh, wait, was that your camera?
Oh
Yeah,
no, what'd you do,
Me and
Dan?
a lady friend used it. It got a little sticky.
Oh no,
You broke
Dan,
quarantine, you
did
piece of
you-
shit.
Do you invite a girl over from Tinder or Dan? Is that what happened?
I mean, did I invite her? Did I really force her to come here?
Okay.
And or exchange money? I'm not.
Okay.
Look, you don't judge my life.
All right, so it's not a Tinder situation; it's a pay for play. Okay, Dan.
Gas station sushi in the chat.
Dan A1.
I wish that they had 2 other J-offs that knew a little bit about UFC to do this play-by-play broadcast. Fuck you, pal.
You know about just jerking off your dad. Shut up.
Okay. All right, Dan
Only I
A1.
can make fun of them.
Okay, Dan. Dan, you need to sit down. All right, stop. Dan's doing a little dance now, and that's.
Oh,
Oh no, Dan A. White. All right,
Oh,
we're trying
no.
to get a hold. Oh no, Dan.
oh, Dan, no.
Oh no, Dan, don't,
Dan.
don't you? Okay,
Uh,
Dan.
uh,
Dan.
Dan, get
You're-
away from the
You're
camera.
blocking. You're in the shot, Dan.
You're in the shot.
You're in the shot. Okay,
yeah,
Dan.
but my dick isn't.
Okay, well we thank you for
Could
that.
be.
Okay, you
Dan,
know what? Don't.
Dan,
no,
go back to bed.
no.
Go
We
back
have
to bed.
talked about this. You are not allowed to appear on camera anymore because the last time. Okay, just.
I'm John Cena.
Okay, we can't. But we can't. We can't see you, and more than anything, we can see your genitals because you're not wearing any pants, which may or may not be baby clothes that were purchased at a Target. But that's another conversation. Dan, what are you doing, Dan? Okay, now you're just shaking it.
Did I see this mustache? What
Okay.
the-
Oh, your
Well,
mustache.
well,
Did the same woman who cut your hair cut my mustache?
Okay.
What was it say? Did you see this?
In the chat, fans are
Okay,
asking
Dan.
why the SBN feed is being commentated by King Babam and Foreman Spike.
I don't know either of those references, man. I'm sorry. Is that a thing I'm supposed to know?
That
Dan,
second one was not a real name.
Okay, Dan, do you know that? Okay. Dan, all right, and you're just standing there naked. I think he's passed out again.
Enith Yolanda saying the stuffed puppet is cutier.
Is cutier?
Yes.
All right, Dan.
Yeah.
You got a fan. You got one fan.
I got 50
Okay.
bucks. Do you have
Natalia
2 minutes?
19124 says you're hot.
Oh, Dan. All right.
Yeah, love it this.
Look, just
Listen, all you need is a little old Richard, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah. Not.
And 5 minutes of your time. That includes 4 minutes of me reciting some historical novels to you.
Okay. All right, Dan. Well,
Mothy Anna saying
It's
these
the
grown
only
men.
way I get hard.
okay. We didn't ask for that information, Dan.
We are waiting on the next fight. It's Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar.
Feels like forever.
Yeah.
Feels like it won't come soon enough. Yet we were waiting. I guess since we've been waiting 2 months.
Watching this on the preview feed
Okay.
is
And
the most frightening thing I've ever seen in my life.
well, I'm just Dan A. White
Someone
uncomfortably
called
close.
Dan a gummer.
Oh wow. Well, it's in all fairness, yes. Dan A. White does not have any.
Listen, I'm not your grandfather from World War I.
Oh wow. That's not. That's
Stefano
not.
That's how
Troisi.
we got through that gumming all his, what do you call them? Sergeants?
Sergeants,
Sergeants.
commanding officers. Yes.
There you go. Gumming everybody.
To
Okay,
answer
stop. Do
Stefano
not
in the
gum-
chat's question,
Stop gumming
I've
the
got
camera.
Kattar in the next fight because Stevens is 0-3 and 1 no contest in his last 4 fights. When you're looking at the featherweight division,
Dan, who do you have in the fight, Dan? I mean, you're involved in the world of mixed martial arts in UFC. I mean, are you are you going with Jeremy Stevens or Calvin Kattar?
Where are either of them from?
Well,
I believe they're both American.
they're both from the
Oh,
United
well,
States.
that's a shame. I think they'll both lose.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all right,
They
Dan.
will somehow both lose.
Okay, that's not a possible outcome. I don't
No,
think.
that
They'll
is not.
swim at
That's,
the same time and knock each other out
Okay.
simultaneously.
No, that was the ending of Rocky 3. That is not. Again, that is not how it happens.
Wait, that wasn't. Oh, it was a film.
That was a movie. Yeah.
That is brand new news to me.
Okay. Wait. You thought that was a real fight?
I thought it was a biography.
Okay. You thought
you
it was
mean a documentary?
a documentary, Dan?
No, biography.
Okay, biography, which would be in
A
printed.
filmed biography.
I don't know if that's a thing. I think that's only in book forms.
You want to see my thing?
No,
No.
I don't. I can
Dan,
see
go
your
to bed.
thing, and please.
That's why I'm respectfully just. You can only see my from the neck up.
Dan A. White is
They
one.
can see me from the neck down.
Okay, yeah. Dan A. White is one of the people you can see where not being able to.
There are people saying that they will be that woman, someone's Dan A. White.
There you go.
MMA Turd 69 wants to know who's better at being a puppet, Dan A. White or Brett Okamoto from ESPN. Well, Dan A. White is not state funded, so you know.
Wow.
I'm stake funded.
Okay. All right, Dan. Dan is all right. You're right. Stop putting your mouth on the camera. Stop filleting the camera. Stop filleting the camera. No. Stop trying to.
What if I make the feed so much better and just?
Okay, that's not helpful.
That's not
That's
helpful.
not helpful.
Got ugly.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's also mean.
mean.
That's mean,
I'm
Dan.
beautiful. Like me. Look at this mustache. Can I have my human assistant point out my beautiful mustache? Yeah. there we
Okay.
go.
You were also call that a flavor saver.
Timothy Foster's calling for a fight between Dan A. White and Ariel Helwani. We'll take that contract.
I would.
I'll promote that fight. Only in America could you see someone from Montreal, is nicknamed the Nose, take on a puppet who looks like someone as the fight is about to start. Dan A. White, thank you so much, I guess.
I was at the club.
Okay.
Bottoms up.
All right. All right. I
Ryan
think
C. from
singing-
Brooklyn, New York, my
her
hometown.
song.
Salute, my friend Calvin Guitar.
Okay. All right, Dan. Dan A.
Timothy
White.
Foster looking to promote Dan A. White versus Ariel. Someone
Well, I
saying
don't know
don't
that-
stop Dan. Dan sounds like a drunk 13-year-old.
Yeah. Well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Dan A.
That sounds so sex. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I think Dan A. White can't do the fight because I don't think he can pass the physical.
No, he could not. He would not pass any USADA test.
Yeah. Dan A. White would be the first person they asked to put more clothes on during the weigh-in. Let's
take a look
I'll
at.
get a hard on during the weigh-ins like Connor did.
Yeah, that I don't doubt that will happen,
That
Dan.
would
because it's
definitely
happened
happen.
many times this very night.
Shout out to Dundee, Scotland, Callum, who's been watching us all night long. Thank you so much. The 7th highest striking rate among UFC featherweights, 5.12 per minute, 10 first-round finishes, 10 wins by knockout for Calvin Kattar. His last fight was a loss to Zabit Magomed-Shapirov at UFC Moscow. He's 2-2 in his last 4 fights. He's gotten fight of the night 2 times against Shaden Burgos and the aforementioned fight against Magomed-Shapirov. Has only landed 33% of his takedown, Harry, and he's going up against someone in Jeremy Stevens, who stops takedown 65% of the time. So expect this fight to stay standing, stay a little bit back and forth, and you can see the cupping treatment that Kattar went through. I'm not a big fan of cupping. It's
What
weird.
is again? I always
I
forget
don't know.
what it's supposed
If someone
to do.
knows what the
Circulate the blood.
Yeah. Snot to trot in the chat and our instant feedback said Harry looks like Salt Bay if he retired and drove a roach coach.
Don't know that reference, man. If you guys could throw one out here that I'll get. I mean, Salt Bay.
Stephen Carasso,
I don't
a first time, long time, asking where are we tonight? Teaneck, Teterboro. We're in Secaucus tonight.
Secaucus this time. Hudson County, Bergen County got too hot. Too hot. We had to make it. We had to move. We had to keep
Natalia
it going.
watching us from Philadelphia. Follow us on Twitter at MRyan Consulting, at Harry Terjanian. Thank God Danny White does not have social media.
Well, they had to
That
take
might
it away.
have been the most invigorated Dan has been on this broadcast since we met
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I think he hasn't talked to a lot of people
No.
since all this started.
No.
So it's like picking up a hitchhiker
Yeah.
who's been lonely. He had to get a lot off his chest.
Do we want to say where Dan lives right now? Because I don't know if he would feel comfortable about
Well, you can. I mean,
that. Well, he lives on our couch.
yeah. Dan is in Dan's had some hard times, but still the owner and operator of the Puppet UFC.
Cash in the chat. Matt looks like the Jewish Pablo Escobar.
That's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. You're doing a Hasidic remake of
Of Narcos?
Narcos?
Wasn't that the fucking Adam Sandler movie?
I don't know. Oh, Uncut Gems?
No,
Yeah.
I was talking about
50 First Dates? What are you-
yes, no, Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill? Oh my god.
Oh,
Is that available on Netflix? I haven't watched a rough movie in a while.
Brian.
He's trying to play Twister with your sister.
Ugh. We got people from South Africa, Philadelphia, Montreal, Sal de Leon, out there patrolling. We've got a police officer listening to us. Thank you so much. Be sure to spread the word. Be sure to share this with your friends. Let them know what's going on and what we're doing. Jeremy Stevens with his gigantic back tattoo is inside the octagon. Let's take a look at the stats. Stevens with a 4.5 pound weight advantage. Qatar with the height and reach advantage, walking it at 5'11 with a 72-inch reach. To Stevens at 5'9 and 71, Harry.
Yeah, fairly evenly matched up here, except for a little bit of a weight advantage on Stevens' part. Bruce Buffer doing the introductions. Very excited.
Ryan Dorfmeyer says, I look like someone who's going to burn down an office building after he stole a stapler.
He stole my stapler. Excuse me. And here we go. The odds, a minus 260 favorite for Jeremy Stevens.
Stevens, if he has the dubious honor of setting the record for most losses in UFC history with 16. All but one of his pro losses have come inside the octagon.
And yet, still here on the main card.
Mm-hmm. Well, because Stevens is a beast.
No
so is
doubt,
Qatar. They're both savage animals.
I mean, it shows a never say die attitude to still be here and part of it at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena.
There should be like a Coliseum Palace. Like it feels like one of those names that would last forever. Like it's a venue in basketball. Mike Lorenzo watching us from Florida. If I don't catch you in the chat, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep track on 9 things at once. We've got people coming in and out. We are having another great night here, Harry. I'm having a lot of fun.
That's right.
Everybody needed this. And we've got a fight. Here we go. Stevens feigning a jumping knee to start it off. Both men in the middle of the octagon. Qatar pressing himself closer to the back. Cupping suction may help facilitating healing with blood flow. Opponents also claim suction helps facilitate the flow of QI in the body, Harry. Stevens with an overhand right and a low kick left. To Qatar. Good throw in the combinations. He's the aggressor early here. Under 30 seconds gone by in round number 1. Both of them with somewhat matching haircuts.
Yeah, both the semi-faux hawks going. And just sort of after a quick barrage of strikes, both fighters in the center of the octagon. Ooh.
Also, Harry, when you're cupping, be sure to, if 2 girls aren't around.
Yeah, well, that's... that sounds like something Dan A. White should have said on the show. Neither here. I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of Dan, by the way. I don't know. It's a sneaking suspicion.
Qatar throwing a hard right hand.
And then back to the center of the octagon.
Both feeling each other out early in round number 1. 3:49 left to go in the round. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Harry Terjanian. You can see that in the thing at the bottom of the screen. Qatar with a right combination. Quick left jab by Qatar in the center of the octagon. Stevens following up with his own combination. Missing hard with a right uppercut. Both standing again in the middle of the octagon. Stevens missing. Stevens has won 68% of his fights by KO or TKO. Stevens passes Diego Sanchez for 4th most fight time in UFC history with over 6 hours, 22 minutes, and 7 seconds inside the octagon.
Wow. That's almost 2 viewings of The Irishman. So
coming soon, the ESPN MMA Film Club.
That's right.
Low kick by Stevens missed. Qatar sliding right out of the way. It's the 9th-ranked Qatar against the 7th-ranked Stevens, who missed weight by 4.5 pounds as a featherweight fight at 145 pounds. Standing in the middle now. Hard right hand. 2:39 left to go in round number 1. Low kick by Stevens to Qatar. Standing in the center of the octagon, not a lot of movement here, just some quick strikes from either competitor. Qatar in blue trunks, while Stevens in black. Low kick by Stevens, both of them near the red corner of the octagon, near the fence. Stevens trying to find his way around Qatar. Kind of ducked and covered. 2:09 left to go. Not a lot of firefight here yet. No one going for a takedown. This fight is going to stay standing, and both guys are going to use their footwork to get themselves out of situations. Tried to go for a wrap-up. Stevens with a hard shot to the temple of Qatar, but they'll get back to the center and keep it moving with 1:52 left to go. Missing a right hand is Qatar. Stevens mixing it up here. He's been the aggressor in this first round. Harry, right now, if we had to end the round, I would give it 10-9 to Stevens.
Just barely, but judging by the last fight, who the hell knows? I'm still kind of in shock over Greg Hardy getting that unanimous decision.
And a fun fact, Stevens was a big reason why Dominick Cruz was on this card. The Dominator is Stevens' main training partner, was in shape when he got the call to fight Henry Cejudo, who initially was supposed to fight Jose Aldo for the bantamweight title, but due to visa issues, Aldo was not able to make the fight, even though Cejudo did offer to marry him in a fool's rush-in situation.
Oh. Or the plot of the movie Green Card. Oh, some more strikes from Stevens.
Who would be the Gerard Depardieu in that situation?
Depends whose nose gets swelled up in this.
Under a minute left to go in the round. Qatar and Stevens. Qatar, more reserved, more calm. Stevens got a little more sheen on him because he's been the aggressor. But you got to wonder if Qatar's playing this for the long haul, trying to get through it. He's won 40% of his fights by decision. And Stevens has won 25% of his fights by decision. So these guys know how to go all 3 rounds. And that was a sharp right hand by Qatar. Let me shut the fuck up about decisions, because this one might get down with the get down here.
25 seconds left in this first round here. And both fighters back to the center of the cage.
Low kick by Stevens, who's getting pressed near the octagon. Flurry of punches by Qatar. Stevens' forehead getting a little red. Going for a takedown was Qatar, but he feigned it into an uppercut. Kick attempt blocked by Stevens. Qatar against the fence. Under 10 seconds left to go. Leaning in is Qatar. Quick flurry from both fighters, and that'll be the end of round number 1. And Harry, that's a close and contentious round.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it to Stevens 10-9, even though Qatar was coming back towards the end of the round.
Towards the end of the round, but for the most part, Stevens sort of had the control, at least in the pacing of what was going on. But here we go to the corners. And Qatar's corner saying you're letting him control too much. He's going too big. Turn to look over. It's a little hard to hear him with those masks on. Were you going straight after him? Go down the middle. You're going in and fanning out, he's telling Qatar.
Shout out to Joe Moore watching us from the United Kingdom and Qatar. Landed some stiff shots on Stevens. And, you know, we'd have to look at the scorecards here, but that overhand right that they're just showing by Qatar sent Stevens on his back foot and into a bit of trouble.
And as we get set, UFC promoting the 2 more live events coming this week for the first time. One on Wednesday. And then next Saturday, they'll be back.
You know, Harry, former UFC co-headliner Jose Aldo upset over his visa issues, giving him a common issue with Ari Emanuel, owner of Endeavor, UFC's parent company, who also maxed out his MasterCard.
Oh, wow. So everybody's suffering. Everybody's suffering.
Ryan C. saying, great commentating. My man Matt Ryan got the Donnie Brasco mustache rocking. As we start round number 2, low kick to the hip by Qatar to Stevens.
Well, Matt's going for the retired cop. Forced retirement for police officer look.
Yes. Dennis Farina towards the end.
Here we go.
With flock of seagulls hair.
And here we go. More of the same. Ooh, trading some punches.
Right, left, and Qatar getting a left uppercut right under the chin of Stevens. Stevens looking a little tired here. Qatar on his bicycle, not sucking wind, but both men breathing heavily out of the mouth. Head kick attempt by Stevens, checked by Qatar. 4:02 left to go in round number 1. Both men head hunting with devastating lefts and rights, but not really landing.
And back to the center of the octagon.
I would give Stevens round 1 10-9 for those asking in the chat. Quick left-right combination. Stevens landing a left haymaker. Standing in the center now. Right now, if I'm Qatar, I'm pushing the gas pedal, Harry. I'm pushing a little harder. I'm trying to make Stevens make a bad decision. I'm trying to have Stevens open himself up. And you know what? Stevens is weighing a little more, but you got to put the pressure on him. If he's breathing a little heavy, he's out of his depth. He's old, he's older than Qatar. You make the push.
Well, again, his corner did say that he's letting Kattar's letting Stevens dictate the fight, and he's doing more of the same here. But a couple punches from Kattar.
Quick right, left, right combination, landing a left uppercut, to end that sequence did Qatar. And thank you, Brian Butler. This is the first time I've been on this channel.
Oh, some punches
and
there. And
back against the fence. Sorry, Brian. We'll get to your comment in a second. Stevens trying to go for a takedown. Locking that right arm under the shoulder of Qatar. Big elbow by Stevens. But they'll get back to the center of the octagon.
And a kick to the inner thigh from Stevens. But both fighters still just pacing in the center.
Just trying to find an opening. Quick right hand, a right uppercut by Stevens, barely grazing Qatar.
You can really hear the snap of those punches even more with no crowd to drown out the sound. I mean, it just sounds like snapping logs.
Whoa! Stevens is down, right hand by Qatar, right on the point of the chin, and Qatar leveling Stevens. Jeremy Stevens gets dropped. Will get his 17th loss inside the octagon, and Calvin Qatar will go to 21-4, and Stevens is busted open like a piñata at a quinceañera.
Wow, incredible! The fists of Calvin Kattar covered in blood from the knockdown. Got a good punch on him, knocked him down, and then went right after him. And
what a finish!
Jeremy Stevens trying
He is looking bad.
Remember where he is at this point. And they're wiping the blood off Stevens' face, showing some highlights. Let's see what happens here.
That elbow, a right elbow to the nose and jaw, just sent Stevens out. Watch it again. Boom! A elbow, and he missed with a swinging left. Just went like bop.
Oh.
And then the smother and cover just gets right on top of him. Rakata, rakata, rakata.
And an elbow sliced him open, basically.
Oh, he caught him bad.
He caught him there, but that's not where he gets busted open. Right here with the elbow. So a couple fists and then an elbow before referee Jason Herzog had to stop it.
Thank you, Boss Finale. Thank you, Johnny GG, saying put Matt Ryan on SportsCenter with that call.
He should. Oh. Fantastic call. And boy,
that
Jeremy
was a
Stevens
fucking fight.
Still sitting on the stool there in the middle of the octagon. Not good for Jeremy Stevens. But what a finish by Calvin Kattar. And Joe Rogan preparing to conduct his interview, but his fist still covered in blood. Wow.
That fight built up.
It did.
To that moment.
It did. And, Stevens had maintained control of that fight. Or at least aspects of it.
First round was Stevens.
Yeah.
Look at that. A gigantic gash right along the right side. If you're not being able to watch UFC 249 live, right here is a huge gash right along the forehead of Stevens. And he got caught badly by one of those left hands by Calvin Qatar.
Ooh, that is split open, and his corner trying to alleviate the bleeding. They'll do that long enough for the official
It looks
announcement.
like a fucking puppet's mouth.
The winner by unanimous decision, by knockout rather. Sorry, Calvin Kattar.
And Qatar looking a little worse for wear too. Some swelling on the nose. He's got some strawberry syrup dripping out of his lips.
And a lot of blood. Tough first round, Rogan says. Jeremy came in fast and hard. Is that what you anticipated?
Stevens giving some respect. Jeremy Stevens is a savage animal and had one hell of a fight tonight. Just got caught in the wrong place in the wrong time.
And Kattar upset about the weigh-in. Didn't like that. And I don't really like that, he says, and it's tough. But it was a good fight. shit was crazy. Rogan saying it's a wild fight. And showing the elbow. If we watch the exchange.
Bam!
I mean.
Knocked his hairline back. He knocked his fucking hairline back, Harry.
Oof.
And then you see it.
And
Bam!
another angle.
And you can see Qatar accidentally poked him in the eyes, but that wouldn't have mattered.
And then Kattar just got on top of him. Throwing fists until Jason Herzog stops it.
And Jeremy Stevens will be rocking the Harry Potter scar as the boy who lost.
Oh, boy. Kattar saying he's happy to be here. Feel like he's just scratching the surface. These featherweights are in big trouble when I put this shit all together. Rogan says...
he's not wrong. He's not wrong. That was one hell of a fight. 11 wins by knockout. 11 wins by knockout.
Tough times don't last. Tough people do. He says in regards to the people going through the pandemic. And thanking Dana White for keeping the fighters busy. There we go.
Fuck, that was a fight.
That was a hell of a fight. An amazing finish just out of nowhere. And for Stevens, he went in for the punch, landed the punch, but left himself open. Just bad timing.
Barn doored. He got barn doored.
Bad timing, and unfortunately, but yeah, you can watch it again. Oh my God. And he's out on his feet before he goes down. And Kattar with follow-up elbows and fists.
Shout out to Reavens FTW on Twitter, tweeting at me. Just started following. Love the commentary from you guys. Y'all ever need an extra voice? I'm in there.
All right, thank you. Well, follow our other stuff as well. You can follow my social media at Harry Terjanian, or check out the podcast I do, Man School 202, with the great Dante Nero. Sex, relationship, and comedy. Life advice. It's a lot of fun. Worth checking out.
And you can listen to my podcast. Well, 2 Point Deduction is currently on hiatus because of this goddamn pandemic.
Yeah.
But I am the co-host of the One More Word podcast along with Dr. Marvin Williams. We break down sports and society, primarily the NFL. We last week talked about the Lou Reed principle, something I came up with, where we figure out what's the Mendoza line for a Hall of Fame career. So if you want to listen to that, I drink a lot of heavy ABV beers on that, so you'll want to listen to that. It comes out every Monday.
There you go.
And you can watch Catalyst Wrestling on the Fight on the Fight app every Monday at 6, and then if you live around the world, on Fight Network UK on Wednesdays at 12 a.m., Thursdays at 7 p.m. in Canada, and in the States at 1:30 a.m. on Friday nights.
There we go. So a lot going on here. Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, it's going to be Ngannou versus Rozenstruik in our fun fight of the night. And Harry, Hey, King Mo in there training with Rozenstruik. King Mo from Major League Wrestling. You can watch them every Saturday on BN. I'm a producer for them as well. So
there you go. Check that out. More promos here for the UFC face coverings.
Just looking at the chat here.
No worries.
Saying that Natalia19124, who's the president of the Matt Ryan fan club,
there you go.
Says Ngannou is the man. I hope he wins. People are waiting on the Gaethje versus Ferguson fight. We've got 2 title fights here tonight. One for the UFC bantamweight title. That's our co-main event, and then the main event, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje, in a fight I was looking forward to, but not as much as Khabib versus Tony, which was canceled for the 5th time, Harry.
That's right.
The 5th time. We got robbed of calling Khabib versus Tony.
The fight that God himself or herself does not want. A fight that Yahweh doesn't want to see.
That fight's never going to happen. I don't know why it just can't. Just give it to us. Just give us what we want.
Here's what's available on UFC Fight Pass.
No one gives a goddamn. No one gives a goddamn.
Oh, fair enough. You don't want to watch 10 more classic martial arts movies?
I don't.
Fight Lore, Buffer, Go Behind the Voice of the UFC, streaming now.
They don't pay me.
New episodes of Fight Lore.
Shout out to Rosie Joe, New Zealand up in this bitch.
That sounds like something a guy from New Zealand would say.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough.
And
shout out to the Kiwis.
And also, folks, if you have that's New Zealand.
Yeah, that's what you said. He was from New Zealand. Okay, I got it right. I got it right. I should have just stuck with my, been more positive about that.
Ngannou closed at as a minus 250 favorite.
Oh, boy. Okay.
This is going to be an interesting fight.
Okay. I'm going to take this moment real quick before this fight gets started to take a break 1 second.
And Brian Butler asking to type your pods in again. Harry's on Man School 202. You can look them up on Apple Podcasts. I believe they're on Spotify as well. And YouTube. You can find one more word on YouTube as well. Also on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever else you like to find podcasts. And also a podcast version of this will be going out on the Bloody Elbow Presents SoundCloud page. So be sure to subscribe there. That's where the 6th round is going to be tonight, the post show for UFC 249. Team will be breaking that down. So be sure to subscribe to all of those feeds. CTube quoting Wedding Crashers because it's 2004 again. And you just want to have a little bit of fun. If you got any questions in the chat, leave them now. We've got almost over 800 people joining us so far tonight. We've had some big audiences, and we want to keep that building, keep that growing. We want you to be a part of this as we get closer to our 2 title fights here tonight. Dominick Cruz looking to regain a UFC world title as he face off against Henry Cejudo for the vacant UFC bantamweight titles. It's Dom's first fight since 2016. He's walking right back into a title fight. It's going to be interesting how Dom transitions back into fighting after being at the broadcast table, after suffering all of those injuries. It's going to be an interesting fight. And that'll be our co-main event tonight. And obviously Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson in a battle of the legitimately crazy human beings for the vacant UFC lightweight title. And Harry, the lightweight title to me is the crazy person division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Well, there's been a lot of that, including John Bones Jones at one point or another. How is he doing? What's the update on that? Is he in trouble? Is he in jail? Did he get the key to the city?
He got a parade.
Okay.
He donated a significant amount of meals to New Mexico families. We don't know if that was.
But is he delivering them himself? Because then that's problematic. That's the thing.
He kept his fucking driver's license. If you don't know the story of John Jones, head over to the MMA YouTube page or the MMA Facebook or Twitter page. We actually have not only dash cam footage, but we also have footage from him, legitimately, yes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, footage of him driving around.
Yeah, you can see that footage. It's great footage. It looks very similar to the game Grand Theft Auto for some reason.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5?
The new one, yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. This one, apparently, you get
It was not shot by me on a lark one day, working from home. No.
The whole mission, of course, is to just get in your car at 2 o'clock in the morning, drive around, and then fire a pistol inside the vehicle. It's a strange mission. It's a very strange mission. And then, after that, you got to do some community service, and then hand out a couple Pop-Tarts.
Ghost 11 C2X, which I think is Elon Musk's child's name.
Oh, boy.
Saying... Albuquerque here, LMFAO. Red saying, you guys are awesome. I broke up with my girlfriend to be here with you tonight. Much love from Boise.
Don't blame us for that.
How is that our fault?
I feel like there must have been some stuff that happened before this.
Did she cheat on you with Dan A. White?
Is she? Yeah. I mean, she's more of an Arrowell Hawani fan. I mean, I feel like that's a lot of pressure on us.
That is, yeah. We have to console you. You're the relationship advice guy.
Yeah.
I'm just some fat schmuck with a mustache.
Well, if more relationship advice, listen to Man School 202. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe he's like, listen, this is a deal breaker. I've had it for the last time. I mean, we're stuck together in the same house. We can hang out any time and watch Katherine Heigl movies.
Ugh.
Tonight, UFC is back, baby.
27 dresses or violence for the sake of violence. I would go with the violence for the sake of violence.
As we prepare for this, J-check. Oh, are they announcing the?
No, I think they're just going through a random video package right now.
Let's see.
Is GSP coming back? Is he going to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, hold on. I'm hoping this is a Hall of Fame induction. Is he already in the Hall of Fame?
Is he becoming Canadian Jesus? Oh,
yeah, that's right. It's the Hall of Fame induction.
GSP will be entered into the UFC Hall of Fame. Rozenstruik, he hails from Suriname, Harry, located on the northeastern coast of South America, neighboring French Guiana and Brazil. Nearly 5,000 fans greeted him at the airport when he had his walk-off victory against Alistair Overeem. What happens with a win here for a guy like Rozenstruik from a country like Suriname, that's insane. To have the opportunity to be the first Surinamese heavyweight champion of the world in mixed martial arts at that level. He's walking to this fight 10-0, going up against a killer in Francis Ngannou. That's a big road to hoe, but for him, we may see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's on a run here, 10-0, huge, just huge. But yeah, Ngannou has always been a monster here in the UFC.
If you want to know an interesting story about Rozenstruik,
yeah.
In August 2014, Rozenstruik was arrested and detained by Royal Netherlands Marechaussee on suspicion of smuggling drugs, along with 7 other Surinamese who were in Netherlands, who the group claimed to attend a kickboxing event. After 14 days of detention, Rozenstruik was released as the Dutch authority found 7 members of the group had swallowed balls of drugs, but not Rozenstruik, and he was the only kickboxer among the group.
Oh, wow.
That's in his Wikipedia page.
Shout out to the Netherlands for being able to wait something out to get the evidence, huh? Whose job is that, to have to inspect the fecal matter? I hope there's like a pension for that. Good Lord.
Dude, that's a special dispensation on that one. Oof. We want to know your predictions. Next fight, Francis Ngannou and Rozenstruik, and what essentially is a UFC heavyweight title eliminator, will face one of the men commentating this fight tonight, Daniel Cormier or Stipe Miocic, whenever he stops running out of excuses to fight Daniel Cormier for the UFC heavyweight
what have been
championship.
some of the excuses, though?
COVID. Him being a first responder. He's a firefighter. He is out there protecting people.
Fair enough.
But he's been using
what happened the other? I mean, it's been over a year,
allegedly an eye injury.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, will that fight happen, or will Cormier retire before it happens? Is he going to retire? There's still some mystery, right?
If this continues, he will probably walk away from fighting. I do not want to see Daniel Cormier's career end on that note, because he was winning that fight. If we were calling that fight, I would have been so goddamn mad.
But then, I mean, Cormier himself admits he didn't listen to his cornerman during that. And, it's not a great way I don't think that's the last we've seen of Cormier. But he is a guy who definitely enjoys his life outside the octagon. I mean, he's transitioned into a great color commentator for the UFC. There's rumors of him going to the WWE, although that might not happen this year.
Not this year, but who knows?
I mean,
they got to feed somebody to Brock.
I guess. You think we'll see Cain Velasquez back in the WWE after all
probably,
this is done?
Well, he got released, but I feel like that'll happen again. I think he's a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, that or he goes back to AAA in Mexico, and we see the video package preparing for this fight, Francis Ngannou. Now,
Rozenstruik is a dominant figure in the UFC, but you can't look past someone like Francis Ngannou. 3 straight wins, all by KO, TKO. 2 of them former UFC heavyweight champions in Junior Dos Santos and Cain Velasquez, the other against Curtis Blades, who's an up-and-coming heavyweight. This win pretty much guarantees him a heavyweight title shot. His last loss was to Derek Lewis at UFC 226 over a year and a half ago in what I consider to be the worst fight in UFC heavyweight history.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was...
Before that, his only other loss inside the octagon was to Stipe Miocic at UFC 220. He's won 71% of his fights by knockout or TKO, 29% of them by submission. His average fight time, Harry, is 6 minutes and 52 seconds. He's never won a fight by decision.
Okay.
So the deeper this fight goes, he's fought 5 rounds before, so has Rozenstruik, because they both fought in main events before. It's a different level. It's 3 rounds. And you got to wonder if Rozenstruik, someone who also has had a multitude of stoppage victories. He's won 90% of his fights by stoppage. His average fighting time is 7 minutes and 52 seconds. Ngannou's is 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
Okay, so they're both, I mean, in that ballpark of, not going too far into a fight, but I guess they're capable. I mean, it's just 2 powerhouses. I mean, both of these guys have been so impressive, so deadly, and it's going to be a good one. I mean, this is part of this really stacked UFC card tonight that has been a little bit all over the place, but it's been fun. We're just glad to be back No doubt, a little bit strange with the empty arenas, but we're just happy we're seeing some fighting again, and thank you for joining us tonight.
And interesting note, Rozenstruik has not attempted a single takedown in 4 trips to the Octagon. You know, if we see him try to do one tonight, does he get rocked by Ngannou? If he goes for that takedown, does he get knocked out?
I mean, that's what he's got to look out for. Just Megan Oliva here doing the introductions, or the doing the setup here as we have the fighters come out. It's still very strange to see all this in an empty arena. It's going to take some time to get used to that.
And but Brian Butler asking you, Harry, in the chat.
Yeah.
What kind of? I'm sorry, James Bidfell asking, what watch are you wearing?
It's an Invicta. It's my favorite brand. I don't know the model number, but I always go with Invicta. They're pretty affordable and they look fantastic. I'm not getting paid to say that. I wish I was.
We would like their money.
Yeah. Or watches, whatever you want to send.
No, I would like the money.
All
you
right.
can have the watches. I'd like.
Well,
money.
I prefer money too, but I'm saying, what if they don't? If they're like, well, we don't have money, we give you watches. I'm not going to turn away a watch.
Yeah, I'll just,
I mean, I'll take cocaine. I don't use it, but I'll trade up to get a watch. I know how to barter.
The fuck is this, the Oregon Trail?
Hey man, times are tough, man. It's martial law out there. It's Marshall Mather law out there.
I'm Matt Ryan. That's Harry Terjanian. Jarzino Rozenstruik making his way to the Octagon now, being checked out, going through what looks like TSA. Only one person wearing the official UFC face mask there. There we go. Everyone else wearing.
It's interesting what options people have chosen to go with for the face mask. The crew of Rozenstruik going with the old dentist style, and meanwhile the person applying the Vaseline going with the carpenter's sort of woodworker style.
Rozenstruik has the longest active UFC knockout streak with 4. He's got the second fastest and second latest knockouts in UFC history. Just a little bit of interesting trivia before tonight's third to the final fight.
Yeah. There we go.
Timothy Foster saying, "Hey guys, this crowd will be perfect for a Tyron Woodley rap concert."
Oh Jesus, let's not do that. Somehow he'd still get a tomato thrown at him. It's very weird how it happens.
Also, FSHH 4x4. I'm not mispronouncing Oregon. I'm just saying the Oregon Trail because
that's how it's always pronounced. Oregon Trail.
Yeah, it's not Oregon Trail.
That's weird, right? Even though Oregon.
Yeah.
People pronounce it Oregon, but it's Oregon Trail.
I have family that I don't speak to that live in Oregon, so I know how to say Oregon. Well, they live in Florida now. Florida's garbage. Joe Sanders, pardon me. This fight is gonna bang, guys. What do you think, Harry? What's your prediction?
I think it's gonna be. I can't pick a fighter. I would be lying to you. It would just be a coin flip. I mean, they're both big hosses. Just gonna be. It's gonna be.
It's a hoss fight.
Yeah,
it is a hoss fight.
This is what heavyweight fighting is all about. And I think it's not going to be, like a technically sound fight so much as it is going to be just a lot of heavy hitting, a lot of damaging blows, a lot of heavyweight fighting. I mean, that's just the only way to. And look at, Ngannou
a monster.
Phenomenal shape here.
Seafarer, hey, what's going on? Reed Dobash living in Oregon. How are ya? Timothy Foster saying big thanks you guys for tonight. Well, you can thank us by liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and hitting the like button on that video below. We've got over almost 300 likes. We've got almost 900 people here in the chat. If all of you hit that like button, that would do so much for all of us. And let the people know at SBN that we're doing something cool here, and we want to keep building this. If you want to see us continue to grow, do all of those things and more. We are so grateful that you're here with us, and we're so glad to be entertaining you guys here tonight for UFC 249.
Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, please.
Dana White, Harry, is threatening to move the division forward if Stipe does not return by this summer, a move that could be expedited by a spectacular finish tonight. So if Ngannou or Rozenstruik pinata the other guy, we may see Stipe stripped of the heavyweight title or an interim title fight between the winner of this fight and Daniel Cormier.
Would he be able to strip him? I don't think he'd have cause to strip him.
Well, he hasn't defended the title in over a year. Okay. He has prevailing medical issues, and if Stipe continues to be a first responder, during COVID-19. There may be enough. There's a lot of ticky-tack reasons you can pull titles from people.
Why strip somebody? You know what I mean? Like, or in that situation, him. I get why you'd strip somebody, but it would seem like a weird move, I think. I think at least they do an interim championship, and then I guess after a certain point, I don't know what the bye rules are, as how long you can go without defending it if he has medical reasons, and I don't think you can strip anyone due to the COVID-19 stuff, right? I mean,
well, you never know. Let's take a look at the stats for this fight. Ngannou with a 5-inch reach advantage, 83-78 from Rozenstruik, walking in. Ngannou a pound and a half heavier, 261.5. Both men walking in tonight at 6'4". Ngannou a year older at 33 years old.
And Rozenstruik looking like an even scarier Rick Ross. Bruce Buffer wearing the wallpaper of a Ramada Inn as a jacket. Fantastic.
Timothy Foster saying send Danny White to strip Stipe.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's going to end like Waco. Donnie in the chat calling you a quarantine Brendan Schaub.
A quarantine Brendan Schaub?
Yes.
Oh, well, listen, what are you going to do? I'm done crapping on his comedy. The quarantine has made me a better person.
Really?
Barely. Barely. As long as Dan A. White is on the show, I'm not the worst person here.
That's
so.
Fair. That's.
And Michael Buffer, excuse me.
Thanks for the shout out, Iverson 1615 saying good job guys. Love how well you guys are informed. It's thanks to our crack research team, which is our producer back at home base, and well me. Danny White's currently texting our producer asking me who is stripping.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was also going to say, is that it doesn't count as being stripped. Danny White's going to take it too literally.
Yeah.
Danny White always checking, always demanding cavity searches when
yes.
he goes through the airport saying, you know, I'm a kickboxer, I'm hiding something, you know, the whole thing.
He was voted Mr. TSA 9 months in a row.
Wow.
He brings his own gloves.
Hey, listen, you want to be prepared. Here we go, the start of the fight, round 1 underway.
Ngannou, Rozenstruik coming right towards Ngannou, both standing. Rozenstruik lands the first blow, a low kick to the knee of Ngannou. Ngannou keeping his hands up, so is Rozenstruik hard, and we're swinging. Rozenstruik is out! Ngannou with a left hand sent from Hades has given Rozenstruik his first loss and quite possibly a 6-hour respite from his senses. Ngannou with emphatic pain. Rozenstruik down and is now 10-1 inside the Octagon.
Knocked completely out. Medical attention checking him out. He is dazed. What a huge,
holy shit,
huge strike in less than 20 seconds. Wow, the power there. And Ngannou checking in on Rozenstruik. A little concerned there. I mean, Rozenstruik is up. I mean, he's I guess he's conscious. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
And just the amazing power from Ngannou. Coming out swinging with the speed. I thought we were going to see a little bit of, you know, some pacing up front. But
this fight was under a minute. Let's take the replay again. We'll call the whole fight as it starts.
Go.
Rozenstruik comes right towards Ngannou, meeting in the middle. Low kick by Rozenstruik. Ngannou feigning a little bit.
Another punch from Rozenstruik.
Left hand just testing his reach. Low kick by Rozenstruik. Just juggling wild right hand, wild left hand, big pan combinations, and then just raining blows upon him. Just like Tyson in 86.
He missed
overhand right missed. Left hand missed. Overhand right missed. Caught him on the jaw with a left. And Rozenstruik bounces against the cage. And then Ngannou just left, right, and it's over.
Wow. And that he threw just a barrage of haymakers that missed. The first 3 missed. But landed that third, and that was enough, and then just finished the job.
That was all he needed.
Incredible speeding, and here we go. See Daniel Cormier's reaction.
Not
catching
wanting...
flies in his mouth.
Ugh.
Jaw agape. Oh, and DC Cormier is saying, I ain't afraid of Ngannou.
Make the fight! Let's fucking go!
Let's see here. Ngannou and wow, Rozenstruik is out of it. He is just escorted out of the octagon before the the official announcement is made here. And here we go. Bruce Buffer with the announcement here. Dan Miragliotta called a stoppage at 20 seconds of the first round. The winner by knockout, Francis the Predator Ngannou. And here Joe Rogan coming in to do the post-fight interview. This was a fight that Rozenstruik called for. And Rogan saying, be careful what you wish for, right? And Ngannou saying, when I heard he called me out, I knew that he didn't know what he was doing. He's not ready. He has a lot of potential. I just think he has to take a step back and reevaluate before fighting again someone like me. Rogan saying, the power you displayed, let's take a look at it. They're going to show. Rogan says, you blitzed him. You came forward. You threw these full power bombs. Got him backing up against the cage. And then, boom, that's the one that got him. Clipped him with the left hook. Everything after that is just academic. Ngannou says, yeah, my coach, we've been working 15 weeks. And we've been working very hard on the striking, how to set up. That's what I walked in with set to do. How to set up. And obviously he didn't get caught with that, but I followed up. And it's exactly what we were working on. Great teamwork. Rogan saying, I followed you on social media. You put out all these hashtags, uncrowned champ. You're in this position where the UFC heavyweight division is on hold. How frustrating is that, Rogan asks him. And where do you feel you fit in the division? That's very frustrating, Ngannou says. Where do I fit? I don't know. I was expecting this fight to be for the title. After DJS, I expected to fight for the title, but it didn't happen. I asked for UC for an interim title fight, but they didn't make it happen. And to be honest, I don't know where the division's at right now. So I'm just here. Let's see. Rogan saying, with a performance like that, it's hard to deny you any longer. I'm sure everyone's going to want to see you fight for the title next. Spectacular performance. And congratulations. And thank you very much, Joe. Thank you for all my fans around the world and all the messages of support. I love you. I said, without you, I wouldn't be here.
Let's take a look at the chat. Yuda's own saying he would spear Ngannou like Goldberg. I just lost a bit of my voice calling that.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Great
we'll
job,
drink some
guys.
more vodka. It'll help.
But I'm afraid Matt will blow the speakers on my laptop any second.
There we go.
Jason Adair saying we're fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
There was one here from somebody. Ness NEG, holy shit, this guy needs to commentate fights for the UFC.
Yeah, Matt's a great commentator. There's no doubt about that. As they show the entire fight basically over again.
All right, so here we go. Francis Ngannou knocked out Curtis Blades in 45 seconds. Cain Velasquez in 26 seconds. Junior Dos Santos in 71 seconds. And just now Rozenstruik in 18 seconds.
That's a hell of a shopping list.
Ngannou has and that's his last 4 fights. He's got a 4-fight winning streak and a total fight time of 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wow, incredible. 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Incredible. I expected, we'd see some firepower, but that was quick. And I guess now we're going to see more UFC pre-tape packages because you know what that means. A little bit of time to kill. Do they do that? I mean, I know they're required to hit a minimum, but is that, I guess...
I don't know.
Is that for the... Usually I always felt like that was for the live crowd to give them their...
Yeah, now...
their money's worth as far as a live
event. It's fucking cowboy rules, pal. Let's take a look at the chat here. Roy Demo watching us from Chicago.
Yes.
Shout out to Roy. Judah's own saying, hit his ass with some sweet chin music. Cormier, here's a quote from Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
Count me among the many fans who want to see Francis Ngannou fight for the heavyweight title. Just not against me.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd said the opposite, that he...
No, he probably wants to fight. James C saying I look like a 60s porn star.
Oh, 60s porn star? Oh, yeah. You look like a cross between a porn star and then Benny Hill when he was wearing one of his disguises.
Vega Medina thought Carrot Top was sitting in for me for a
Oh,
moment.
jeez.
If you like what we're doing, please sure to like,
Yes.
subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Also follow us on Twitter at Harry Terjanian, at M Ryan Consulting. Be sure to watch Catalyst Wrestling every Monday on Fight and also on Gas Digital Saturdays at 11 a.m. Harry, I'm going to take a quick respite if you want to answer questions from the chat.
Let me take a look at the chat and see what we can do here. Let me cross over a little bit. Callum thinks I would nothing less. Here we go. Sorry. Does Ngannou get a shot? One of the questions. I mean, I think so. It's just it's not so much a question of whether Ngannou gets a shot. It's when does it happen more than anything else. I mean, again, is it going to be an interim championship? Are they going to strip it? Let's see here. Vancouver. Brian Harden from Vancouver Island. Given 10 minutes in, if Gaethje doesn't do it, Fergie will win. Okay, I'm not sure what that meant. All right, there we go. I'm a little lost here on the chat. I'm trying to get to everybody. Thank you again for point the camera to the TV. No, don't be an asshole. You know what this... You don't think that we would have figured that out? Like we don't know how to air the pay-per-view? If we wanted to air the pay-per-view and get thrown off, we would. This is not for that. You're welcome to buy the pay-per-view. You can go to ESPN Plus and do that if you'd like. But no, at no point...
Click the link in the description.
Click the link in the description. But at no point, if we haven't started the show showing the fight, so there might be a reason for that. We're not going to do it because it's illegal, dummy. There we go. They definitely got some Ron Jeremy energy. Well, it depends which Ron Jeremy, because he's been known to pass out smoking weed. There we go. And Stipe will handle him again, says Jason Shuck. Well, we'll see here. Dana will screw guys. He's been screwing Ngannou. I don't know. I mean, look, that was an amazing performance. He's ranked number 2. I mean, to me, it's undeniable that he deserves an opportunity. Again, I don't think it's Ngannou that's stopping that. You know, it's whether or not they're going to have a heavyweight champion who's going to defend his championship after more than a year being laid off. And if he's genuinely doing work as a fireman, this pandemic is not ending anytime soon, and our first responders are going to be busy for a long time. And look, if he's got to pick between those two things, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad he's, it's more important for him to do his duty as a fireman and help out people in need during this pandemic. It's a lot more important than fighting. As much as we love it, he's probably doing the right thing. It sucks for Ngannou, but look, there's ways around it. If we want that to happen, it wouldn't be the first time we've had interim champions. It's very simple, and I think that's what's going to happen because, I mean, if that's really what he's doing, that it's got a long run. We're far from out of this thing. And as they go down for the fight card on Wednesday night, that's right, folks, on Wednesday night, because Dana's got to make up for some lost time.
They're
like
just gonna
a
be
deadbeat dad who has decided he wants to be a parent at 45.
Oof.
He is now going to spend as much time as humanly possible, and it starts Wednesday. Because we got to get to 52 fights no matter how. We got to make up for lost time, folks.
Cody Peck saying Matt and Harry should just start throwing hands. My bet is on Matt, to be honest.
I don't know. Matt sees it differently, but
Matt needs to eat a Whopper. I don't like Whoppers. Fuck you. Stephen Lewis saying I'm a 61-year-old dude that has had a mustache since 1977. Thanks for Matt for making it stylish again.
Thanks for saying that you look 61. That's an improvement.
That's it. It is. JC saying I just saw your orange gym shorts. No, they're red pajama pants. You think I'm going to put on actual pants for you people?
Yeah, I mean, look, we set the camera up. That's how they do the Tonight Show now. Cut us some slack.
I'm out of vodka.
I haven't worn actual pants in 2 months at this point. I don't wear anything that doesn't have a drawstring.
I've been wearing the same pair of pants for what feels like a month.
Okay. I mean,
this is the first time I've worn a shirt with a collar since I've landed from Mexico.
Yeah, the laundry room across the hall is not quarantined. You're allowed to use that.
It costs money, though.
Maybe cut down on the drinking. sell some of those bottles. We cracked another bottle here.
What are you, my dad? Let's take a look at the card for Wednesday.
No, I'm alive and I'm talking to you.
That's fair, and you've acknowledged my existence. Park Trizzle saying Harry's seen some shit, you can tell.
That's very true. All right.
JC saying, I love it, bro. I'm
Very
not
accurate.
hating. He's not hating on my pants. So for this Wednesday, we're going to have, in the main event, Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira, Ben Rothwell versus Ovince St. Preux, Alexander Hernandez versus Drew Dauber, Ricky Simon versus Ray Borg, and Carl Roberson versus Marvin Vettori.
Oh, nice. I mean, listen, if you're one of the people who watches every fight, you're in for a real treat.
Yeah.
Because this week is going to make up for a lost time. And if you're one of those people's spouses who hates fight, it's going to be a rough week back.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoy playing Monopoly or whatever you do with your kids. Because fight season's open in full force. What do you think the next sport is to come back, by the way, Matt?
I think it's baseball.
Think it's
Baseball, then
baseball?
hockey. I think baseball starts next month. Hockey starts next month. There's rumors that they're going to do a 24-team Stanley Cup tournament.
I've heard about that.
Oh, please do that.
That would be fantastic. I'd love that. I don't know if baseball is ready. There's just so many guys on a team with baseball and hockey. It's a little difficult. Maybe basketball might be the closest because they have a smaller roster of guys. Football, I don't know how you're going to do that. How you're going to get 50 people in a locker room and assume that doesn't spread.
I don't know. It's football's probably going to start in September. I think the season will start a little later than usual. But here's an interesting stat just sent in from our producers. The most UFC knockouts from 2015 to present. Thiago Santos with 10. Ngannou with 9. And Derek Lewis with 8th. And now Ngannou is tied for 5th most finishes in UFC history with 10. He's been in the UFC for 5 years.
That's it. I mean,
only 5 years. That's just ridiculous.
He could go on to have the record.
Yeah.
And that's like...
he could be the greatest heavyweight of all time. And I feel like he could beat Stipe. I don't know if he can beat Cormier because Cormier's wrestling. But he lost to Stipe in their first fight because he was just out of his depth. He was young. He was his first few years in the UFC. Now that he's fought 2 former champions, he's had that title fight. He's gotten a couple of really tough losses on his resume. I think he can go in a little more focused against Stipe. He was coming into that fight essentially anointed the next guy. They were propping him up to be the next John Jones, and he wasn't ready for it. John Jones wasn't ready to be the next John Jones, and we see that continuously now.
Yeah, what do you think Cormier meant by that quote, by the way? I'm a little thrown off by that because I could have sworn I said he's not afraid of Ngannou.
I don't think he's afraid of Ngannou. I think he's just like, oh, that is a tough motherfucker.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because Daniel Cormier has not given, he doesn't refuse fights. He will go up against anybody.
But does he want that? He wants that rematch against Stipe.
Yeah.
Right? I mean.
Yeah, that's definitely the fight you want.
No, but I'm saying specifically him. He wants that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's another
Maybe
stat.
that's what he meant, that he doesn't want to fight.
Here
yeah.
are the most sub-minute knockouts in UFC history.
Okay.
History. 5 by Anthony Johnson. 4 by Vitor Belfort. Johnny Hendricks and Ngannou are tied at 3 for 3rd place with Miocic and Mike Swick. Ngannou's been in there 5 years, and he's already in 3rd.
I mean, a hell of a run so far, so... I mean, the heavyweight division's in pretty good condition, aside from the fact that the champion is not defending. There's a lot of great fights to be had. I'd like to see Cormier have another one, so that's the other thing. That Cormier was kind of waiting for that rematch and kind of didn't do anything else for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And now it might be all for naught, which is a little bit annoying, but I guess that's one of the issues with this pandemic. I mean, the least of everybody's problems for sure, but it would be nice to see that rematch. I really want to see that rematch. And see, have that be the retirement one way or the other. If he goes into that and says, win or lose, I'm retiring, that would be a fantastic fight. And hopefully we get to see it. But I guess we're moving on here to the next fight. Dominick Cruz and Henry Cejudo.
Since UFC 207 in 2016, Dominick Cruz makes his walk to the Octagon. His only other loss in his career was to Uriah Faber back in the WEC days at WEC 26. After that loss, he went on a 13-fight winning streak, was the first recognized UFC bantamweight champion. He's got the most wins and fight time in UFC or WEC bantamweight history, and also the most takedowns in either company's history in the bantamweight division with 50. He is a former WEC and the first ever UFC bantamweight champion. He's someone with a litany of injury problems and someone whose career has been...
First fight in 11 months, so how's that?
It was first fight in 4 years.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Last fight since UFC 207 2016. You're looking at Cejudo.
The Cejudo, I apologize. I mean, so it's a little bit of a weird sort of situation with both fighters. I mean, Cejudo coming in first time in 11 months.
Yep.
It's all. I mean, how much do you think does it matter to these guys that it's this empty arena?
I don't think so.
Does that aspect matter to them?
I think for certain fighters, they thrive on that on the walkout. But
Right.
once you're in there, I think there's a significant advantage to being able to hear your coaches. We saw it in the Greg Hardy fight that he was able to hear the commentary and hear their notes. Yeah.
It's interesting that he had the thought process to listen to that. But I'm still surprised by that outcome. I don't know. Maybe we saw a different fight, but that to me was...
Yeah, that was on some bullshit. Shout out to Sean Quinlivan watching from Ireland, the home country.
Shout out to all the redheads out there. Stay safe. Stay safe and drink indoors in your own house for a change. Just pretend it's a pub.
I'm drinking rum for the first time in what feels like forever.
Okay.
And it tastes like suntan lotion.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a fan.
Of rum in general? Mm-hmm. Well, you're doing the rum and Coke. I don't know how much better you could do. If the sugar from the Coca-Cola doesn't kill it, then it's just not for you, man.
That's all we got. Cejudo.
How do you know what suntan lotion tastes like?
Oh, what it smells like. It's
okay,
like that
fair
coconut
enough.
nonsense. Cejudo, of course, an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. However, Cejudo is just 1-4 in takedown attempts against Marlon Moraes. 2 crown a bantamweight champion. He's 3-11 against Demetrius Johnson to become flyweight.
Throws his hat into the empty crowd, by the way, on his way to the Octagon.
And was an anemic 1-7 against Joseph Benavidez. MMA wrestling, just different Harry. And he's wearing his fucking gold medal to the ring.
Is that a gold medal?
That is an Olympic gold medal that he's wearing.
He took it off the ribbon there and is wearing it on a gold chain. That's a hell of a way to sport it.
Also, good news, Harry. Red's girlfriend is coming back. She's taking him back.
Oh my God!
So he's gonna have to walk away for a while.
Happy news here. Happy news here.
Love finds a way.
And you can see the big scar on the shoulder.
That's that shoulder surgery.
Yeah. And
Embodied by Sabu.
And here we go. Getting the Vaseline treatment here as we set up for a very interesting fight here. A lot of to me, some mystery as to what we're going to see here. Coming back from the injury. Mm-hmm. It's also a long time for Dominick Cruz.
Aside from the stats that we said, Harry, he's got a 20-1 takedown ratio. He's also got the 5th fastest knockout in UFC championship history. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out for Cejudo here tonight.
The Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling. That is an amazing accomplishment. Yep. It's interesting to see. I mean, it's not uncommon anymore to see athletes from other sports come in.
It's a natural transition for someone like Cejudo.
Yeah. 15-2.
Shout out to Timothy Foster, whose girlfriend said Danny White was a god. Wow. Don't give him that kind of motivation.
Well, you didn't see his genitals, so it's far from godlike. He's not, somebody who's definitely given up manscaping during the quarantine. He's using the quarantine as an excuse, I feel like. Oh, I can't go out to the salons. I usually get it styled.
It looks like if a baklava exploded.
Oh, now I'm getting hungry.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our co-main event. Dominick Cruz 35, Cejudo 33. Cruz with a 4-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage, walking in tonight at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach to Cejudo 64, standing in at 5'4" as the champion, both walking in even at 135 pounds.
And here we get gearing up for 5 rounds of 5 minutes, as this is, you mentioned, a UFC bantamweight championship fight. And Bruce Buffer presiding over the ceremonies here, giving the announcement. And some pacing by both of these fighters. Both of them looking not necessarily nervous, but definitely anxious to start this. I'm a big fan of analyzing what the body language and what people do. 2 modes,
the Bill
I find.
Simmons aesthetic. looking at body language, looking to see how this goes.
It's interesting. Some fighters are very calm. It's one or two. It's either very calm or a lot of pacing. One way or the other. What it means? Absolutely nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
Once the fight starts, it's anyone's guess here.
Charles Campos asking us to send a hug to Rafaela Campos in Brazil.
Hey.
Hi, Rafaela.
Love those Brazilian steakhouses, by the way.
I want steak now. I had a steak sandwich before we went on the air, but I want more steak. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
A lot of talk tonight, Harry, about Danny White's genitals. Fans want to know, do the carpets match the drapes? You answered that question, though, where it kind of...
Well, they match them, but it looks like the drapes got caught in a vacuum cleaner during cleaning. Let's just put that.
Over 1,000 people watching us now.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, so glad you guys are with us here tonight. Henry Cejudo looking like he's about to go into prayer. And he looks feral half the time. Like, he's the king of cringe. He's 15-2. He's a dominant fighter. But good Lord, does the man look like he's about to bite your teeth?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that his teeth are grinding, except he's got a mouth guard in there. But he is just cannot wait to get this started. As Bruce Buffer gives his introduction, he's waiting to be let out of the gates here.
And a shout out to Adam Hagazi from Egypt watching us here tonight.
All right. Love those Sphinx.
Best name so far tonight, Godzilla Suplex. Amigo
Yes.
Mago watching us from Oxnard, California. Callum wanting us to blow some kisses towards Natalia. We won't blow kisses, but, you know, if you talk about our automobile.
Whose kisses? Huh?
Ugh.
Let's see. Here we go. We're gearing up for this. CM Punk tweeting. I can't see the tweet due to the thing. All right. But CM Punk is actively tweeting. They're showing a lot of that. A lot of Twitter activity tonight.
Natalia said this is the best night she's had in the last 2 months. And here we go.
Wow,
we got a title fight.
Thank you for joining us.
Cejudo meeting Cruz in the middle. Cruz walking around the perimeter of the center of the octagon. Cruz in white. Cejudo in black. Low kick by. Cruz misses. Both like
fighters.
dancing around. Cejudo, Cruz doing a bit of the Ali shuffle.
And both fighters with their ankles taped.
Oh, they're wearing like ankle protectors.
Both of them are, though.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
This is Cruz stepping in for Jose Aldo, who could not fight tonight due to visa issues.
Here we go. Cejudo, the defending champion, goes for a kick.
Cruz faked with a combination, went for a low kick, landed the low kick. 4:07 left to go in round number 1. Longer than our last fight so far.
There we go. We've already broken that record tonight.
Cruz tried to go for a takedown, stuffed by Cejudo. Looked like he was going for a collar and elbow tie up there. Cruz near the fence of the octagon, tried to take out Cejudo's knee, tried to hyperextend it with a kick to the knee. Did not land. Left-right combination by Cruz misses. Low kick by Cejudo after feigning a left-right. Long left miss by Cruz. Low kick by Cejudo lands.
Here we go. And both fighters still in the center of the octagon. Cruz going in, but, you know, going in then stepping back, going in and stepping back. Trying to pick his spots. That lands a very small punch there.
Shout out to Pakistan, Indonesia, Fort Carson, Colorado checking us out tonight. All the exotic locales. 3:07 left to go in the round. Low kick. Cejudo gets taken down. Cruz tried to follow up. Missed with a right. Both men back up.
Cejudo immediately hopped back up and stepped away. And a high kick from Cruz.
You could feel the pressure here. Cejudo fighting some top-level competition. He does not stray away from it, though. He has fought some of the elite at bantamweight and at flyweight. Took the title from Demetrius Johnson. Beat TJ Dillashaw. One-legged takedown by Cejudo. Has Cruz's back. Cruz back up. Slips out of it. Almost putting the guillotine of both men back standing.
Cruz tried to hop out. Cejudo dragged him back down like a gator. And then luckily Cruz able to hop out again. Another kick. Hard kick. Oh.
Cruz back down. Cejudo trying to go for a submission. Pops back up. Does the challenger. 2:16 left to go. Shout out to Pakistan. Watching us. Frostburg, Maryland. New Hampshire. All across the world, statues crumble for me, and Cejudo trying to make that happen with Cruz. Cruz landing a kick to the knee, but Cejudo following up with a quick combination. 2 minutes now left to go in round number 1.
A lot of crazy strikes so far here. And then Cejudo in the center of the octagon controlling the pace here. Both fighters kind of waiting for somebody to make a mistake. Whoa! They both go in, exchange some punches, and back out. Another one from Cruz.
Cruz landing that left, bobbing and weaving, missed that uppercut. Overhand right, missed by Cejudo. 95 seconds left to go in round number 1.
A little bit more of the same. Another kick from Cejudo.
Right hand by Cejudo, left hand, lands. Missed that right to try to make the combination. Pushed Cruz against the fence, but they're both back in the middle. Minute 16 left to go in the round. Low kick feigned by Cejudo. He'll pull that one back, trying to pressure Cruz near the fence. Missed with a kick, tried to go for a spinning kick. Did not land.
And again, Cejudo in the center of the octagon. A little bit more dancing, pacing from Cruz with less than a minute left in this first of 5 championship rounds here for the UFC bantamweight title.
Cejudo looking for an opportunity, so is Cruz. 46 seconds left to go. And right now, Cejudo dictating the pace of this round. Cruz looking a little tired. Took this fight almost literally last minute. His first shot at a title since losing the bantamweight title to TJ Dillashaw 4 years ago. Going from there to the commentary table, back inside the octagon for a shot at the 125-pound title. Correction, 135-pound title.
Ooh, a snap kick from Cejudo.
15 seconds left to go in the round. Both trying to scramble for a takedown. Nothing doing there. 10 seconds left to go in the round, and we will go back to the corners, Harry, after an interesting round number 1.
Oof. All right, here we go to the corners. A little bit of conversation. What was going on here? Looking for the corners and a little sportsmanship between the two. No issue. I guess some confusion about which corner to go to.
Amigo Mago saying my hair is off the chain. Brian Butler asking me to calm down. His daughter is sleeping, and he thinks I just woke up his whole street.
Well, there you go. Well, tell your daughter to get up. This is a hell of a fight. Wake her ass up.
Got people watching us from Cairo, Egypt. We got Milwaukee in the house. Portland, Oregon watching us here tonight. Torker88. Love the commentary. Hate the hair. Well, fuck you, pal.
Hate that.
Metro Boomin wants some more. Got that Ric Flair drip. Great commentary, boys. We got Romania watching us. Cody Peck saying we're killing it here tonight. Thank you guys so much. Got Minnesota, Melbourne, Australia watching us here tonight. John Bradbury asking if that's a wig. No, it's not a wig. And T-Tone Toledo 1965 from Toledo, Ohio, the home of Max Klinger, watching us here tonight as we enter from Saturday into Sunday. Good morning, everybody.
His first name was Max? I didn't even know that. Klinger?
Yeah.
I didn't
Round
know
number
that.
2 begins.
Here we go. MASH trivia for you, not just UFC fights.
Colin Handy, we're glad you're joining us too from Ontario. Kick and Cruz coming out swinging with a right. Tried to feign a takedown attempt there. Keeps it rolling. 4:40 left to go in round number 2 of 5 for the UFC Bantamweight Championship.
More of sort of the same here again.
Chris Phillips says, I woke up his daughter too. I'm sorry, guys. Wear fucking headphones.
Yeah, I don't
Low
know.
kick. Tried to take him down. Cruz went for a shot, but he kind of fucked himself by pulling Cejudo down by the ankle. He did?
No, it's just who does commentary. Howard Cosell is always knowing. So close, but fucking himself over.
Hey, it's
I
the
mean, I
internet,
forget
baby.
we can curse, but
It's
it's just
pay-per-view,
so funny.
son.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Dana, I'm looking for work. Low kick by Cejudo. Pardon me, against Cejudo. Cruz pressed against the cage. Cejudo keeping the pressure. Cruz moving back and forth like he's playing duck hunt. Goes for the ankles, does Cejudo. It is a dance quick fire fight from both competitors landing shots. Cruz and Cejudo exchanging here. 3:36 left to go in round number 2. Low kick buys the champion.
Ooh.
Quick combinations in the center of the octagon.
A lot of quick exchanges.
Cruz standing and delivering. Cejudo trying to go for the takedown, blocked by the challenger. Pardon me. Cejudo looking for the takedown, blocked by the challenger. 3:16. What left to go in the round? As Cruz continuing to circle the perimeter of the octagon. Head kick barely missed by the champion. Looking for an opportunity to stop Cruz and retain the UFC bantamweight title is the man who calls himself Triple C. Going for a takedown attempt again, and Cejudo has not been able to take the challenger to the ground.
Both these guys, it's a very, even though there's a lot of posturing, it's been very quick. A lot of quick pace from both fighters. A lot of foot movement.
13 of Dominick Cruz's professional victories have come by way of decision, 8 by stoppage, only 1 by submission. So he's got the engine, even though he hasn't fought in 4 years, and you're seeing a little bit of that rust applied here against Cejudo. Cejudo also coming off a significant layoff of over a year, and Cruz landing a right uppercut to the champion as he's trying to stay in this one. Time ticking down to 10 left to go in round number 2.
Oh, another kick from Cejudo.
Firefight in a phone booth. Cejudo landing some shots, but Cruz dipping and dodging out of the way like he's playing dodgeball, standing once again in the center of the octagon. Low kick. Both men going low, trying to go for basically a quick takedown, a little bit of a wrestling shoot by Cruz, but not working against the Olympian.
That's been a couple times that Cruz has had to get out of a couple dangerous positions here. I don't know how many times he's going to get away with that in this fight. Here we go, 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this second round here. Another takedown attempt by Cruz.
Both men, Cruz is trying to take him down, but you gotta wonder, what's the strategy there? Once he gets Cejudo, an Olympic-level wrestler, even though we have the stats, Cejudo's 1-4 in takedowns against Marlon Moraes, 3-11 against Johnson, 1-7 against Benavidez. There's not a lot of great success for him in getting takedowns, but once you're down on the ground, and Cruz, who's fighting his first fight in 4 years...
Maybe it's just to shake things up, to change up the pacing, try to get something different
it could
going.
Be,
maybe
it could be that.
Maybe he has no intention of actually taking him down. Just, there we go. He tried it again.
Shot for the leg, shot for the left leg, and then threw a right into the temple of Cejudo, did the challenger. 40 seconds left to go in round number 2. Over 1,300 people joining us right now in the chat as Cruz and Cejudo continue to throw down here for the UFC bantamweight title, and a timeout called. And it looks like Cejudo got doinked in the eye, and he's got a cut by his eyebrow. The champion has just gotten a crimson mask accidentally. And it looks like it's right along the hairline.
They hit heads.
So an accidental headbutt. And the champion getting a bit of a gash here. Oof.
I think they should be all right to continue this.
It's not a bad cut, but it's like a small little bullet wound right above the right of the hairline of Cejudo,
but
and it's very bleeding. It's very bloody.
The cut is not bad, but it is dripping right into his eye, so that's going to be problematic.
It's kind of dripping around his eye. It's looking like his eyebrow is a dam.
So far, but eventually I think it might.
Yeah, 20 seconds left to go.
Cruz came out swinging here, but Cejudo not phased.
And as we enter the 10-second part of this, 10 seconds.
Cejudo
takes Cruz down! Cruz going to try to end this fight here with under 10 seconds left, and is it at the end of the round or is it at the end of the fight?
I think it's done.
And this fight is over! Cruz gets taken down, and Cejudo, crimson masked and all, will retain the UFC bantamweight title. He got taken down with that knee, and then Cejudo just seeing red, quick combinations, and the UFC bantamweight champion will walk out of Jacksonville, happy to be leaving Jacksonville as the bantamweight champion and just to get out of fucking Florida.
Well, a little bit of a controversial stoppage there. At the end of the round, it looked like Cruz definitely didn't look like he was incapacitated. He was still moving. I think you could have given him a little bit more time.
I just let the fucking round end. There was under 10 seconds left in the round, and you can see Cruz is furious.
Here we go. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Missing a right uppercut, gets caught with that knee right to the temple. He gets wobbled down, does Cruz, quick right hands, and then Cejudo just pummeling him. But with so little time left on the clock, and Cruz was not defending himself, though, Harry.
Yeah,
he did not have his hands up.
He was trying to use his hands to get up. Both hands were on the mat. If you watch it again here, but yeah, there were two shots there that knocked him out, and then Cejudo just kept throwing some side punches, and he was hurt. But
missed hard with that right uppercut, fed right into a knee by Cejudo.
Oh, let's see here again. He is moving. He's scrambling.
You need to intelligently defend yourself, Harry, and Cruz was taking those blows unanswered to the head.
It's very close.
I think he was just trying to wait it out, but he looked a little on Dream Street.
No doubt about it, but I guess you could have argued either way. Cruz upset, but the ref sort of trying to explain, but it doesn't matter. The result is the result, and Henry Cejudo will retain his bantamweight title.
And a sign of respect here from Cejudo, reaching out and showing Cruz.
It's not his fault.
No.
But, damn. And, Cruz removing his hand from the ref's hand.
He is pissed. And Cejudo looking constipated, then screaming, wearing his gold medal. He's a dangerous human being.
No doubt about it.
But he looks like a goddamn Muppet.
Well, when he gets angry, he looks like a furious Muppet. That's fair. He is a dangerous human being, though.
I loved his work with the Electric Mayhem.
Fantastic band. And Cruz immediately leaves the Octagon in disgust. Joe Rogan interviewing Henry Cejudo. First of all, let's get to the strategy of the fight. Seemed like right away you were chopping at those legs. Was that a big part of what you're planning? Absolutely. I can adjust, though. You can try to study me and train for me, but at the end of the day, I have a great coach. He put the game plan together. Captain Eric Albert is always by my side. Pulls down the mask, defeating the purpose here of social distancing. We stuck to the game plan, and that's all she wrote. Let's take a look at the knockout. Rogan says, you caught a big knee. Here we go.
And we'll see this again. Missing wide with that uppercut did Cruz, and just opened himself up to a huge right knee to the jaw by Cejudo. Cejudo seeing red, literally, because of the blood in his eye. And Cejudo catching Cruz with a devastating right. And that's a good stoppage. Looking at it again, Cejudo just landing left hands unimpeded.
Cejudo saying, I'm ruthless. It may sound cringy or corny, but I know how to fight. And I am the greatest combat sports athlete of all time. I just defended my flyweight title, my bantam title. And I'm an Olympic champ. Did I forget to mention that as he holds up his gold medal? And I want to make the announcement. Uncle Dana, UFC, everybody, thank you so much. Hunter Campbell, all the UFC staff. I'm happy with my career. I've done enough in the sport. I want to walk away. I want to enjoy myself. I'm 33 years old. I have a girl. I eventually want to start a family. Since I was 11 years old, I sacrificed my whole life, and I'm not going to let anyone take that. I'm retiring tonight. I'm 33. I'm happy with my career. Uncle Dana, what? I want to say thank you.
He just fucking retired?
That's what he's doing right now.
Henry Cejudo has just retired from mixed martial arts
Triple
at
C is out.
33.
It's been an honor to call you. Henry Cejudo, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen. Wow, big announcement.
That is insane. I don't...
Wow. Yeah, he's talking to Dominick Cruz. And I'm not happy with the stoppage. I was working my way up. If I was standing on the floor, I would understand. Rogan saying, you got hit with 11 unanswered shots. Do you feel like he was just swarming you, but you were still cognizant, well aware of what's going on? I was definitely aware of what was still going on. Taking shots as part of a fight. But if I'm standing up to my feet, I'm in the fight. If I'm staying on the floor and I'm being chopped down, I get it. But hats off to Henry. I got no excuses. I should have got caught with that knee. I put myself in that position. But I specifically asked the ref to let me take the shots I needed to. You know, on my way up, I had my balance. Give me a fighting chance. This is for a world title. This is not some backyard fight. Rogan saying, I understand. After that, Henry Cejudo was going to retire. And knowing you're just in a title fight, what are your thoughts on the... What are your thoughts about your future? Are you going home or you want to get right back in there? I'm not sure, he says. Damn, Dominick Cruz. I could have done the same thing he was doing if I wanted to. I wanted to finish this fight. I haven't ever been knocked out before. I don't feel like I knocked out tonight. If the ref stopped it, the ref stopped it. I specifically made sure and told him that I didn't agree with the stoppage. My argument, if I'm standing up to my feet, I don't know how you can stand up and be knocked out at the same time. Rogan, always an honor calling your fight, sir. Dominick Cruz, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. That's... Fuck.
That is disappointing for Dominick Cruz. I keep going back and forth on whether or not it was a good stoppage. I mean, he was moving around. I get he was taking a lot of punches. My thing is, it was towards the end of the round. I guess that's not supposed to be a factor when you're a ref, no matter what. But, you know, it's one of those things like if it had been 2 more seconds, we could have gotten to that next round. And who knows if this would be an entirely different fight. But nonetheless, perhaps the last fight of Henry Cejudo, now 16-2. And he retires the UFC bantamweight champion.
That is pretty nuts.
They have press there. That's interesting. I just realized that. Or maybe it's not. And Henry Cejudo making sure he stops by the ring girl. And here we go. Flexing on the way out. Doing a lot of fist pounding. And obviously not understanding
the idea of social distancing.
Do a lot of fist bumps, a lot of handshakes, a lot of unnecessary handshakes.
Lot of people right now, Harry, on social media are divided on whether or not Cejudo was serious about retiring. Right now, we have to take it at its face. MMA, much like pro wrestling, you never really retire.
Is his contract up?
I think that was... I don't know if that was the final fight on his contract, but...
Right.
Just an interesting, an interesting storyline added here tonight that Henry Cejudo announced his retirement.
Unexpected.
He did kind of pitch the idea that he would be done after this, but...
He's 33 years old. I mean, I get in the world of fighting, you're getting towards the back end age-wise, but I feel like he still has a lot left. But then again, maybe he's one of the guys who wants to go out, start a family. I don't know. I think we'll see more of Henry Cejudo.
Well, we've got some people in the chat here who are confused about what the hell just happened.
Yeah. You and us both.
Someone calling us Corona Puss. You guys are so good up to that because we believe in social distancing. All right.
Corona Puss?
Yeah, we're Corona Pusses.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even... Whatever,
I don't want to die and the pandemic thing was a
Look,
rib.
I'm not... Listen, I'm not... Look, however you feel about it, there's no reason to fist bump strange people on the way out. It's not necessary. Just take the caution is all I'm saying. It's the whole reason that we can't, have sports is we don't want to spread the virus.
Yeah.
So by people going out and just, shaking hands and hugging people unnecessarily, it's exactly why they don't allow activities to happen. So I don't know.
Now, if he was full-blown mouth-kissing people, then it would be
that would be a different story. But now that he's retired, we don't know what he's going to do. Anyway, went on a rant for no reason about
Sam Del Monte hurting my feelings, but being a truth. If Cejudo retires, then Matt is 6'5" and buff. Well, that's just mean. Michael Bisping just called Cejudo's retirement the best contract negotiation ever.
Yeah.
Well played. Yeah. That's a Kobayashi Maru.
What it is. But I don't know that you're gonna.
That's a good gambit.
I don't know that Dana's gonna fall for it. You know, I don't know that it's whatever. I don't know that it's gonna change anything. I mean, if you're legit and you want to stay home, or is he gonna do what we just saw Rob Gronkowski do, which is either trade me or I'll retire. Either pay me, let me get paid, or I'll just stay home. We don't know.
Is he going to become a Tampa Bay Buccaneer?
I mean, it's possible. We don't know who's showing up over there. It's been a strange 2020. As we go through the lightweight rankings, Khabib listed as the champ. Obviously,
well, he's the champion.
Yeah, but number 1, Tony Ferguson. Dustin Poirier, number 2. Conor McGregor, number 3. Justin Gaethje, number 4. And Dan Hooker at number 5.
So we're seeing the 2 of the top 5 mixed martial artists at 155 pounds battle for the interim title. This is the second time Tony Ferguson has fought for the interim lightweight title. He was supposed to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov tonight. He's supposed to fight him a fucking month ago for the 155-pound title.
And then before that,
yes,
how many times?
Ugh.
And here we go for the interim UFC lightweight title. Some of the notes we have here for Tony Ferguson. The first note, lunatic, my favorite note. Just plain and simple. He is the former interim UFC lightweight champion. He beat Kevin Lee. And he has not lost since 2012.
He has not lost a fight in 8 years.
Wow. That's incredible.
Insane. And Justin Gaethje, who looks exactly like a person who would be named Justin Gaethje would look like walking in tonight. My top note here, also a lunatic.
Yeah.
On a 3-fight winning streak with wins over Donald Cerrone, Edson Barbosa, and James Vick. His last loss was to Dustin Poirier at UFC Glendale a few years ago. He's won 86% of his fights, Harry, by KO or TKO, 5% of them by submission, 10% by decision. His average fight time is 8 minutes and 39 seconds in comparison to Ferguson, whose average fight time is 10 minutes and 4 seconds.
Now, quick question. You listed both of them as a lunatic. Why? Explain to the people why.
Justin Gaethje just looks like a psychopath,
and
Tony Ferguson had the cops called on him for severe mental problems.
Okay.
He also wears hand wraps everywhere.
Just, you mean out on the...
At the UFC 249 press conference, he was wearing hand wraps for some reason.
Okay. I mean, that's not the most logical thing to do.
Munchaholics Anonymous asking, is Terjanian a Armenian name?
It is indeed Armenian. Speaking of Glendale, shout out to all the Armenians in Glendale.
Grrr. Vega Medina asking who I think is going to win. I'm going with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I'll go with Tony Ferguson.
Because he'll show up to my fucking house and kill me.
Yeah, that's true. And he'll wear hand wraps, too.
Yes. Danny Hernandez saying drop the highlight tonight. Amigo Mago says hope Dana or somebody hires you to be a well-paid commentator. Matt Ryan, Spirit. Well, yeah, no, we should be paid for this. We are paid for this.
We are paid for this.
But if
We'd
you
be paid more if
you want
yeah.
us to get jobs as commentators, tweet at Dana White, tweet at Scott Coker, tweet at the PFL, tweet at your favorite MMA organization, and use the 2 Twitters at the bottom and ask them to hire us.
There you go.
It's not that hard.
And also, just in general, just follow us. I'm at Harry Terjanian. You can also check out my podcast that I host with the great Dante Nero, Man School 202, available on iTunes and YouTube. And also check out some of my work at Catalyst Wrestling. New episodes available every week on multiple platforms, including Gas Digital and the Fight Network.
Yes, that's right. And the Fight app.
Fight app.
And here we go. It is time to decide the interim UFC lightweight champion, and they are doing all the pomp and circumstance for a main event fight, but with no people in the audience.
It's very eerie looking to some degree. I mean, so far it hasn't felt too different. Obviously, I watch the fight with half an earpiece in at a time just to get information. It hasn't felt that much different. It definitely doesn't seem to have affected the fighters, other than you can hear your cornermen, which is interesting, and you can hear a little bit of they can hear the commentators. But for the most part, it's been a really good UFC card so far. Really good. Dare I say it, great. It's been stacked and a lot of interesting finishes as Justin Gaethje makes his way through the locker room area out into the arena. as we mentioned before.
Also, sorry for calling Tony Ferguson a lunatic for that, but also he's just an interesting guy. I mean it in a facetious way.
Yeah, we're being, we mean lunatic in the do not mess with him type of way.
As someone who suffers with depression and other mental health problems, obviously I know the plight of someone like that. But I'm making light of someone who has done ludicrous things and is a complete savage inside the octagon. Interesting note, Harry, watching UFC 249, I see no fans. That's exactly what it's like to be deaf, per Matt Hamill, who's a deaf fighter who's got a win over John Jones.
There you go. And see here as we get into the preparations here, the Vaseline. And again, as you mentioned, the average fight time for him, 8 minutes and 39 seconds. So it's fairly similar to Ferguson's, not too far off. But he does land 8.5 significant strikes per minute. So that is something to look out for. And he lands 54% of significant strikes. So what do you think this is going to shape up to be here? It's
going to be a firefight. They're going to fight in a phone booth, and this one is going to be a banana pants brawl. I am excited.
It's a three-fight win streak for Justin Gaethje. And as we prepare for this, he's got a lot of back tattoos tonight.
Yep, and he's got the No Fear logo tattooed on his ribcage, along with what looks like a tattoo from UFC 3 on the other side of his ribcage. Turd Burglar's back with us tonight. Turd?
Hey, Turd, welcome. We missed you, buddy. Glad you made it through this quarantine okay. And pacing the octagon feverishly is Justin Gaethje as we await the arrival of Tony Ferguson. 25-3-0. Ferguson, in addition to not losing since 2012, as we mentioned, 8 years, the last 3 wins are over Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, and Kevin Lee. So
pretty solid.
Pretty significant.
He doesn't fight
wins.
Jim Oaks. Like, these are 2 of the best at 155.
And the only real losing in his life is he has lost 5 times in the attempt to meet Khabib in the octagon. 5 different occasions that fight has had to be postponed. And will we ever see that fight? If we can make it out of 2020 alive, one day we will unify these lightweight titles. Trying to hear the music that he's coming out to.
Tony Opdyke saying we should control our cursing. Well, it happens. Shout out to Ziggy the dog, who's watching all these fights with us here tonight.
Big fans of dogs. The dog is the reason that Matt is sporting a mustache tonight.
Yep. Shout out to the Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York. I shaved my beard after raising some money for them. And if you want to donate, look them up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York. And this, Harry, this fight will crown the 19th interim champion in the 27-year history of the UFC.
19 times. Most of those are John Jones related, though, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Maybe not. I forget how many, but it's a huge percentage.
They're enough. As Tony Ferguson gets himself inside the octagon. Shout out to Turd Burglar, who just dropped $4.99 into the super chat.
Nice, thank you. Oh, and Tony Ferguson deciding that he wants to get slapped by his cornermen in order to prepare for the fight. A couple slaps to the face to get him pumped for this fight, apparently.
An interim title is given in replacement for money. When that's valued, an interim title is valued by fans, by the media, by the promotion, and everyone. It's a sick joke, per Eddie Alvarez, a former UFC champion who currently fights for 1 championship over in Asia.
So he feels that, I guess, the money is, in lieu of money, they give out an interim championship?
Yeah, instead of them making big money for a big money world title fight, they're fighting for what essentially is a secondary title. This is essentially for the Intercontinental Championship at 155 pounds.
I don't believe that at all. I mean, I think the interim championship carries to me as much weight as the regular championship itself. What do you think about that?
I feel like the interim championship is a claim to the real championship, but
I don't know. I always viewed it as just you are also a champion. That's what makes the unification so interesting.
The problem is Khabib has defended the title, twice?
Right. Well,
since winning it against Conor and against Poirier. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape here. Ferguson, 5 years older at 36, both walking in tonight at 5'11 and 155 pounds, but Ferguson with a 6.5-inch reach advantage, 76.5 to 70. That's what makes Ferguson so dangerous, is that reach for someone who's at 5'11 with such long arms, such long limbs. Whether it's in the grapple or whether it's in strikes, Harry, he can keep that distance and he can find a way to break Gaethje down.
Did Khabib defend that title against Ben Askren or whatever?
Ben Askren?
Was he?
No, he didn't fight Ben Askren.
I thought he did.
That was Masvidal.
Masvidal. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm mixing my...
And Turd Burglar, yes, we did get your cash. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Herb Dean.
Somebody just called me Ed Kemper.
Ed Kemper?
The fucking serial killer.
Oh, Jesus. Good Lord. I mean, you do have a
BTK vibe?
Yeah, you do have a Gacy sort of...
Thanks.
Yeah, perspective.
Silvio Dante 93 saying it's more like a TV title. I fucks with that.
I don't know. I always thought of it. Maybe I'm viewing it wrong. I'm more of a casual observer. I always thought of it as just a championship. You know. But Eddie Alvarez would know better than me. I'm not gonna question him. A little bit of shadow boxing from Justin Gaethje as the introductions are being done by the great Bruce Buffer. And Bruce giving it all, trying to blow out his voice.
And the referee for the main event will be Keith Peterson.
No, Herb Dean.
Oh, Herb Dean. I'm sorry. That was for the last fight. I was
Yes.
looking at the chat. Sorry.
No worries.
With Cejudo retiring, Harry, Daniel Cormier is the only remaining member of the 2008 U.S. Freestyle Olympic team currently competing in MMA.
Oh, wow.
That's an interesting stat there, thanks to our producer.
I mean, that has become
watching us tonight.
The projection for people who participate in that. I mean, that's become the next step has become UFC. It's interesting to see that generationally.
It used to become a pro wrestler. Now it's become a mixed martial artist.
Here we go. And Bruce Buffer still doing the introductions here. Going for it. And a little bit of a capoeira. I don't know.
He's trying to save a rec center with that dancing.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, starring Tony Ferguson here.
Walking into tonight, Ferguson, a -220 favorite per Vegas odds. He's got the reach advantage. He's got the height advantage. He's got the title fight advantage, Harry. He's fought for an interim title before. He defeated Kevin Lee for it in Detroit. He is one of the most elite fighters at 155 pounds, and he has not lost in almost a decade. The last time he lost was the first Obama administration.
And Ferguson almost antsy.
He wants to get going. This is the first time he's fought in over a year. Since UFC 229, I do believe. That was his last fight.
Here we go.
It'll be Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson to become the new interim 155-pound champion, and here we go.
First of 5 rounds.
Will it make it to 5? That'll be the question. Ferguson in black trunks, Gaethje in blue, both of them in board shorts. Body kick by Ferguson to the abdomen of Gaethje.
Ferguson, 50% of his fights end in TKO or KO.
Thank you to all 1,700 watching with us right now in the live chat. Circling around, Gaethje missing with a low kick, almost slipped on the back of his right heel after trying to take down Ferguson. Ferguson slipping and dipping here. This one's going to be strike heavy, like some of the other fights we've seen here tonight, especially the last 2 fights. But can this one go the distance? Both standing in the center of the octagon, not a lot of striking here. Ferguson winding back and getting back into the center of the octagon. Led with a left hand into a right and a body kick missing against Gaethje was Ferguson. Ferguson tried to avoid a takedown by Gaethje and ended up with a left hand to the pectoral by Gaethje. Left hand spinning out of the way was Ferguson. 3:43 left to go in round number 1.
So far, both fighters sort of pacing each other out here. Oh, a couple punches land, a little bit trade. Nothing significant yet.
3:29 left to go in the round. Ferguson.
This has the feeling like it could turn up at any moment.
It's just they're just waiting for an opening. You
Yeah.
can see these like little spurts. It's
Ooh.
like, oh, Gaethje slipped.
For what I thought the second time.
It looked like his left knee gave out for half a second, opened the door for a left hand from Ferguson. Now standing in the middle, Ferguson leading Gaethje away with some long left strikes. Opened the door, Gaethje with a right shot, standing once again. Ferguson opening the door for 2 quick lefts from Gaethje. 2:55 left to go in the round. It's the number 1 ranked Ferguson versus the number 4 ranked Gaethje for the interim 155-pound title. Both men standing in the center of the octagon, kicked to the body by Ferguson. Ferguson's been dictating the pace, but Gaethje's been able to find a few openings here in the early going. Missing with both of them, missing with wild lefts. Gaethje connecting to the chin, but Ferguson following right back up, low kick.
I think there's a spot that they keep slipping on, but maybe
there
I'm
is
wrong.
some blood in the middle of that octagon that we don't know if it's dried or there's just something wrong with the back heel of Gaethje, because Gaethje's been sliding. Head kick followed by a left hand by Ferguson. 2:11 left to go. Push kick by Ferguson. Does not land. Attempted to go for the left knee of Gaethje. Spinning back elbow, and Ferguson will take a tumble, but come right back at it and kick Gaethje in the ribcage. 2 minutes remaining in the round. Gaethje being able to match Ferguson stride for stride, keeping the heat at a medium boil here. Nothing popping off. As another 10 seconds go by here in our opening first of 5 rounds for the UFC interim lightweight title. Both men missing hard with Rocky 3-level lefts.
They landed it.
They landed?
You could hear it. Yeah. You could hear it. I mean, I could see why it looked like it missed, but both of them landed. One of them at least.
Yeah, Harry with the benefit of an earpiece helping us out here tonight. Under 90 seconds left to go in the round. Ferguson trying to push Gaethje closer to the cage.
One.
Ferguson smiling. Gaethje nonplussed, trying to keep his composure, but you can see him breathing a bit heavily from his mouth. Left hand missed by Ferguson. Kick missed by Ferguson.
Both fighters kind of, feeling each other out, but even in doing so, they're keeping the foot movement. They're moving. They're bouncing around.
They're pushing the pace. They're not slowing down.
Yeah.
They're finding openings. Under a minute now in round number 1. Gaethje standing in the middle, trying to feint a few shots, trying to make Ferguson swing first. 48 seconds, quick combination. Ferguson will slip over his right foot after a left hand from Gaethje.
Ooh, another left hand by Gaethje.
And the underdog in this fight matching the adrenaline and the pressure of someone like a Tony Ferguson.
Another series of punches.
And both men just feigning shots, trying to create openings, trying to make their opponent miss. Both of them landing lefts and uppercut. And now quick strikes landing to the jaw of both Gaethje and Ferguson. Overhand left by Gaethje with 10 seconds left to go in the round. Now Gaethje trying to feint a takedown, went upstairs, downstairs, almost caught Ferguson in the eye. Both men going for kicks. Ferguson missing with a high kick. And Herb Dean will call it to the end of round number 1. Harry, that was close. How do you score it?
I might give it to Gaethje because he landed a couple, but it would be very, very close. Both fighters sort of mirroring each other so closely that they landed punches on each other at the same time. For some reason, Ferguson refusing the stool. Let's see what his corner's trying to say. That was beautiful boxing, his corner saying. Gaethje's corner, when he goes up on short step, shoot the right real quick. If he starts to pull away, left comes with it. Also, don't forget to touch. Don't just shoot the low kick. Very specific advice there, obviously. Let's see.
And there's an eye poke on that replay. Gaethje kind of went for a full bear paw strike, and he caught the thumb right in the eye of Ferguson.
Referee Herb Dean didn't seem to see it at regular speed. And here we go. We prepare for round 2. Let's see if we'll change up the pace here. This, again, could change it at a split-second notice.
And Ferguson coming out the blocks, making Gaethje slip again in the middle of the octagon. You got to wonder if it's the canvas, if it's too loose, because you have a too loose of a canvas, it'll completely screw up your footwork. And Ashton J. Bennett saying, I look weird. I am weird. Moving on, Ferguson with an overhand right tried to go for a back fist. Did not land. 4:37 left to go in the round as Ferguson trying to match Gaethje as he's trying to bop around like Ali in 64.
Here we go. Both fighters bouncing around trying to find an opening, and both sort of land punches at the same time again.
Ferguson leading with his left. He switched up his stance a little bit.
Now fighting southpaw, then switches it up.
He keeps going back between orthodox and southpaw, trying to find an open, trying to find a rhythm. Right hand landed by Ferguson. Gaethje looks to be bleeding around the mouth, and we got a phone booth fight. Quick exchange from both fighters.
Oh, Gaethje lands something hard there with the left.
Missing with the uppercut was Ferguson. Ferguson missing those shots. Right now, Gaethje looking like he controls the pace of this fight. Ferguson's back again, near the back of the cage. Ferguson using his footwork, knowing Gaethje won't shoot on him.
Gaethje lands another hard right.
If I'm Ferguson right now, I'm trying to figure out a way to stop him. Low kick and then a left attempt by Ferguson after the low kick by Gaethje. Another low kick by Gaethje. He's trying to chop the tree down with 3:25 left to go in the round. Trying to push the pace as Ferguson. Right-left combination. Tried to punch the knee of Gaethje, did Ferguson, and Gaethje responds with another hard left to the jaw. Quick right and then a left from Gaethje and a quick Mike Tyson at 86 body move and another devastating right by Gaethje. Gaethje misses with the left.
And both backing up. Gaethje not being too crazy with it. Gets the punches in, goes back, but Ferguson landed with a couple. And then he punches the knee again. It's very interesting. That long reach of Ferguson, he's able to
just bop him on the knee.
He's one of the few people who can punch a knee. And again, third time.
Just trying to pop that knee, trying to dislocate that knee. Because once you take the knee out, the rest of the body's going to go with it.
Keep an eye
missing
on that
with
knee.
Missing with the right does Gaethje.
Looks mild swelling, but nothing major on that knee. Punch to the stomach now from Ferguson.
Gaethje fakes the takedown, then lands a quick combination and a low kick by Gaethje. 2:15 left to go in the round. As Gaethje's back is towards the octagon, Ferguson staring him straight down, controlling the middle, and a hard left by Gaethje with that stiff hook. He's keeping his shots tight, Harry, and he's keeping them in.
Ooh,
he's not letting...
Kick.
And that's Ferguson using his range there with that head kick attempt, but Gaethje coming in tight and trying to land quick, concise punches and quick, concise strikes with a 1-2 combination. Overhand right into a left hook by Ferguson. By Gaethje. Ferguson tried to go low at that punch again, opening the crown of his head, but Gaethje missing with that shot. Ferguson landing with a quick left jab, lands another. 1:31 left to go in the round. Gaethje going for a low kick, gets caught by Ferguson. Gaethje been winning this round, in my opinion, Harry, but Ferguson making it tough to score. Back elbow block, tried to go for a savate kick like he was King Haku. He misses that one, a head kick, and then a leg kick by Ferguson, trying to pile up the points, going after the left knee of Gaethje.
And it punches it again.
Working on that left knee, trying to hyperextend it, and then a quick whip kick to the ankle by Gaethje, faking that takedown again, and I think Ferguson's caught on to it. He's knowing that Gaethje's not going to try to go for the takedown. Left to the body, right to the head, combination by Gaethje. Tries a right, left to the head, only lands one of those punches, does Gaethje. 47 seconds left to go in the round. Left crook, quick left-right combination.
And Ferguson is just absorbing these punches.
He is eating them.
These have been
like
hard strikes.
Candy. Quick left-right by Ferguson. Eating another left-right does Ferguson by Gaethje. 29 seconds left to go in the round. Both men eating shots like they're a sorority girl Friday night in Hoboken. Quick right, left again by Gaethje, leading with that right hand, even though he's in southpaw. Interesting strategy there by Gaethje, trying to go for a spinning back elbow to Ferguson. Missing hard with an overhand left was Gaethje, but lands a quick right uppercut. Gaethje is down, but he gets right back up, and that'll be the end of the round. That might have scored Ferguson some points to make it a close round, but Harry, that one I would give to Gaethje 10-9.
Yeah, I'd give it to Gaethje, but Ferguson not tired at all. And his corner, Gaethje's corner. Take 10% off your shots. You're trying to kill him. Pop him with good, clean shots, Gaethje says his corner. Every once in a while you can throw a cleaner, but... And I do think he's right. He's missing with a lot of those shots. Boom. That's a huge one from Gaethje. They're showing the highlights here. Another one landing right on the chin of Ferguson. And Gaethje's corner basically... Well, here we go at the end of the round here. Look at this uppercut. And bam! Oh, it was interesting because Gaethje was also going for an uppercut, but Ferguson got there first. Speaking of Rocky 3, if you were watching earlier on, you saw Danny White here. But he was saved by the bell here, much like Zach Morris. Let's see here as we go into the next round here, round 3.
Both men standing in the middle, low left body attempt by Gaethje, trying to go for the abs with a punch, missing close, but not enough, just a bit outside. Ferguson standing in the middle, goes for a head kick, kind of lands that one. Harry, I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah,
land.
I did. You can
it
hear
landed.
It. Oh, yeah.
Quick right hand by Gaethje. We are in round number 3, near the championship rounds. 4.5 minutes remaining in the third of 5 here in Jacksonville. Well, they're in Jacksonville. We're in Secaucus. I don't know who's got it worse off. Downstairs, upstairs combination by Gaethje. Tries to go for a low kick. Gets a punch to the head for his troubles. Ferguson trying to turn it on here in the third round. Looks like a little bit of blood near his left eyebrow. Stephen A. Smith is tweet on screen thinking Garth is the name of one of the fighters here tonight. Huh. Good job, Stephen. Left hand by Ferguson does not land, standing in the middle, both fighters. Ferguson pushing the pace against Gaethje. Left hand, quick combination, landing a solid left hook. Left hook is Gaethje, followed up by a right. Ferguson has a cut underneath his right eye. I don't think he cares, but it's just something to point out for those not able to watch on pay-per-view. Body kick missed, Ferguson. Trying to dance around. 3:34 left to go. Lands a solid left to the head of Gaethje that he tried to block. Again, another knee punch attempt, leading to an upstairs punch. 2 shots by Gaethje, both of them avoided. Pressing the B button was Ferguson trying to do a spin move like it's Madden 04. Landing a straight left did Ferguson. 3:16. What left to go in the round? Right hand landed by Gaethje.
There's some swelling underneath that right eye of Ferguson, by the way. And also some swelling on the knee of the left knee of Gaethje from those punches, which I've never seen in a UFC fight before.
If you're scoring this fight visually, you're giving the fight to Gaethje. Oof. If you're watching the subtleties of this fight, you're giving it to Ferguson. It's a tough fight to call right now. Gaethje with the last strike, a left. Tried to trip him down, did Gaethje. Ferguson stopped him and landed a left on the challenger. Oh. Gaethje stumbles Ferguson back with a right. Ferguson answering right back. Right hand by Ferguson. Ferguson might have Gaethje hurt, but Ferguson is bleeding from either side of his face. His left side above the eyebrow, right uppercut, landed by Ferguson. 2:22 left to go on the round, but Gaethje is looking to control the pace here, while Ferguson, spitting out some blood did Gaethje. He's bleeding from the mouth, lands a right to the eyebrow of the bleeding Ferguson. Both men now bleeding, one from the mouth, the other one looking like he's bleeding tears, and both men standing in the middle and trading. Right hand landed by Ferguson. 2 minutes left to go in the round.
Any other fighter, Gaethje would have knocked out with one of these huge bombs that has landed on Ferguson, and Ferguson just keeps coming forward no matter what, like a Terminator.
And you gotta wonder, Gaethje keeps spitting blood out of his mouth. Is that going to impede his ability to breathe heading into the championship rounds? Ferguson has been to 5-round fights before. Left hand landed by Ferguson, missing with a right, landing a quick one. Gaethje ducking an overhand right. 91 seconds left to go in the round. Trying to push the pace as the former interim lightweight champion. Trying to win that title for the second time.
I think the bigger thing is Gaethje going to tire himself out? He's throwing bombs again. His corner told him to take a little bit off of it, but He's taking a couple swings and missing here, and Ferguson still looks pretty sharp and with it, despite the 2 cuts he has on his face. And here we go. Yeah, Ferguson, lands a jab. Lands a body blow, punches the knee again, Ferguson does. And Gaethje looking for an opening here to try land another bomb, but Ferguson moving around. Sweeps the leg from the front, but Gaethje hops right back up.
Not able to put him into a body bag yet, Harry. Ferguson, 44 seconds left to go around. He picks something. He's scraping the ground, looking like he's doing capoeira. Feigned a right, and then threw a left. Sweeping around. It's Gaethje missing hard with an overhand right.
He's missed a lot of them. I wonder how the judges take that. But
25 seconds left to go in the round. Head kick, and now they're fighting in a phone booth. Both men eating shots. Left hand landed by Ferguson. Missing with the right. Gaethje missing with a left. Punching to the body did Ferguson. 10 seconds left to go into a round that I would have to give to Ferguson by a nanosecond.
Greg Savage saying, Tony is the zombie king. Holy crap.
We have had three amazing rounds, pardon me, and we're heading into the championship rounds. Ferguson standing, not refusing to take a stool, which is kind of a tradition for him. And he's got cuts above his left eyebrow and below his right eye.
The one below the right eye
and he's got a problem behind his right ear.
He is taking a stool reluctantly.
He has got a bruise behind his right ear, which is probably from one of the flurries of shots thrown by Gaethje. Watch this here. That low kick into that high left shot. You guys can't see it, obviously. I'm sorry for saying that. And then there's that overhand right. Those overhand rights by Gaethje
hard shots, too.
Concrete inside an 8-ounce glove.
And these shots, Cormier saying, these are shots that have put away everybody else. And you can see Gaethje breathing heavy. Ferguson still looking pretty sharp. The only problem is the cuts on the head. Again, one underneath the right eye, one above the left eye, and some swelling behind the ear.
Eddie Bravo telling Ferguson he looks great is like Edmund Tarverdian telling Ronda she was looking great.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, not good.
We all know how that ended. Is that some bleeding on the knee, or that's just blood from... I can't even tell.
I've lost track of where blood's coming and going from.
Yeah, this is turning into a pretty...
It's turning into a
classic.
It's turning into a transfusion site.
Here we go.
Going to be testing the canvas for antibodies after it. Standing in the middle, over 30 seconds gone by in round number 4 of a 5-round fight for the UFC interim lightweight title. Both men looking tired, but Gaethje a little more, showing a little bit more of that exhaustion. Then Ferguson spinning... Went for a spinning head kick to the heel kick to the head. Misses wildly, but that could have knocked Gaethje into next week.
Ferguson has so much variety in what he does.
It's the length. It's his reach. He's got long arms, long legs. If he keeps the fight at a distance, he might be able to knock Gaethje out. But Gaethje keeps pushing forward, missing hard with an elbow to the head. Did Ferguson?
And, with every punch, Ferguson returning at least a jab here, back and forth. Gaethje lands a couple hard ones.
Quick lefts to the head. Gaethje just pushing the pace and trying to push Ferguson's skull into the back of his brainstem.
More back and forth from both of these fighters. Gaethje misses with a huge haymaker.
And he throws another couple. Ferguson still standing. The man will not go down. 3:16, what left to go in round number 4? Ferguson trying again to style it up, or he's trying to stop himself from spinning out. But an interesting strategy here by the former interim champion.
I feel like in a weird way, even though Gaethje's landing a lot of these shots, that Ferguson, you could easily make the argument that Ferguson's also potentially leading this fight on points anyway. I mean... Oh, a front kick.
My man went for a bicycle kick.
Right.
Looking like A-Train. Standing in the middle, Ferguson with 2:40 left to go has got to show something in this round. Maybe a finish, but it's a hard fight to call. Right hand landed by Ferguson to the jaw of Gaethje, and both men landing devastating rights. You can see Gaethje getting tired.
Ooh.
And
Gaethje
Ferguson,
landed a hard right though. Even though he's tired, he's still.
Ferguson, he looks hurt. He is in trouble. He is in trouble. Spins out of the way of a shot from Gaethje, but Ferguson looked in trouble there for a bit. And Gaethje continuing to push the pressure. He sees both men are tired, but Gaethje just trying to push a little bit more, trying to force Ferguson to his first loss in almost a decade.
Ferguson a little wobbly, you can see, a little shaky in his stance and positioning for the first time in this fight. Even though he recovered from that rather quickly, he is still, you can see a little bit of a change in his body positioning and his leg work at least. Footwork rather.
Minute 44 left to go in the round.
But both fighters back to the center, regrouping. Enough time for Ferguson to get it back together.
Ferguson
doing a little posturing and spinning.
Yeah, he did
an airplane spin with his arms.
Yeah, he spread his arms out and then spinned on the back of his heel.
Maybe it's just psychological.
It could be. He's trying to get inside of the head of Gaethje. Gaethje going into 5 rounds for, if not the first time, for one of the few times in his career. Gaethje moving around here. You can see he's tired. You can see he's sweating. You can see Ferguson also tired. But I feel it's a different level of tired, and we've got our first dick kick of the fight.
Wow, that took long enough. And with 1 minute left in this 4th round, Gaethje being escorted to his corner and saying he is ready to continue.
Over 3,100 people watching with us now. The fight continues under a minute to go in round number 4.
Maybe Gaethje quickly didn't want to let Ferguson get a respite here. Yeah.
Left hand landed by Ferguson. Misses with a left with a hook. Like Blues Traveler brings you back, and a punch to the knee again by Ferguson to Gaethje. And you can see behind the right ear, Harry, Ferguson's got some discoloration.
A little bit of blood there.
Oh, and Ferguson's leg got taken out by Gaethje, stumbled him, but did not knock down the former champion, pardon me. Left hand landed by Ferguson, caught with a right by Gaethje. 15 seconds left to go in the round. Quick combinations. Trying to drop Gaethje, but the man's chin is made of granite.
Just can't take Ferguson down. Another just hard kick, hard punch, hard kick, and Ferguson is still standing and keeps pushing forward.
None of these guys are gonna go down. Let's take a look at the replays here from this round. Hard right followed up from Gaethje to an uppercut by Ferguson. Just punching him right to the eyebrow. Ferguson's body losing control of itself. Looking like a Talking Heads video.
He danced around for a minute. Let's see what the corners have to say. Let's hear what the Ferguson's corner. Sound being an issue here. Gaethje's corner. The last time you got too comfortable, you got stopped. Look at me. You be sharp as a motherfucker, he said. Expect he's going to come out. Keep chopping the legs. Keep doing damage. Be sharp. So his corner warning him. Last time you got this comfortable, you got stopped. And Tony Ferguson's corner saying, when you throw something, move, don't pause.
And here we go, round number 5. Gaethje almost got his ankle picked by Ferguson, using that reach to his advantage. Harry, Ferguson's chin's being inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame after a fight like tonight.
I don't know who's winning this fight, technically.
I have no clue.
It could be either fighter.
I feel like they'll give the fight to Gaethje, but because just if you look at Ferguson, Ferguson's been fighting a hell of a fight.
I mean, it's almost like you could give it to Ferguson for eating all those shots and still standing. I mean, it might be counterintuitive, It's one of those things.
If Dana White's handing out envelopes, then who knows what the hell's gonna happen. Quick right-left combination going towards those.
3 hard shots. Each one of them could have knocked anybody out.
And just opening up those cuts. And again, Gaethje going for the leg. Ferguson spinning out of it. And Ferguson is bleeding from his right shin. Tony Ferguson is bleeding from his right shin from, I don't know
if he's bleeding or if he just a head kick or something that...
No, that's blood. Like, that's a stream of blood coming from his shin.
You are right.
And he might have got caught by Gaethje on a low kick because you can see Gaethje's left leg is bleeding or has blood on it, and he might have caught his fingernail in the skin of Ferguson. It's either that or Gaethje is urinating blood right now. I don't know where it's coming from, but there is blood streaming down Gaethje's leg, who lands a stiff left to the bottom of Ferguson's eye. Ferguson stumbles back but stays standing with 3:20 to go. Right hand straight to the face. Gaethje putting the pressure on. Can Tony Ferguson fall here in Jacksonville?
Tony Ferguson's trying to move. He's trying to bob and weave because he was hurt, but this has happened last time, and he's slowly kind of recovering. And I think that the blood might be from the shin of Ferguson, to be quite honest. Kicking the legs. He keeps kicking the legs. That's exactly where it's from. It's the shin of Ferguson that's bleeding.
Tony Ferguson just tried to lucha roll Gaethje and pick his leg out from under him.
Tony Ferguson not running out of tricks so far for this fight. 2:44 left in what has been a hell of an interim lightweight championship fight.
Ferguson has to go for the finish here. He's got to find a way to get Gaethje down. Gaethje looking to finish this fight. 2 hard lefts and then just shoves Ferguson into the cage. Low kick by Gaethje, slips and avoids a right hand from Ferguson. Ferguson, this is the most broken down we've seen Tony Ferguson in a fight, and Ferguson falls down into a T-bow position. Gaethje,
another left jab.
Ferguson going for that right leg. Once again, push kick by Ferguson. 2:05 left to go.
To call those jabs from Gaethje is disrespectful to jabs. Those are hard punches.
A right hook into, a right uppercut into a left hook. Gaethje is putting on a supreme performance in striking here tonight. They have not gone to the ground once.
And so much power, even in the jabs, just knockout power coming from Gaethje, but Ferguson is still standing.
And then another left hook from Gaethje into the pectoral muscle of Ferguson. Ferguson spitting out blood. He's got the crimson mask. He got knocked hard there.
That hurt him.
He's bad. This is it. That's it. That is it. Tony Ferguson has been stopped.
That's odd.
He has lost for the first time since 2012. Justin Gaethje jumped out of the cage and jumped back in. Justin Gaethje is the interim UFC lightweight champion after a and he pushes Ferguson pushes Gaethje away. He is furious.
I think frustrated perhaps more with the referee. Being an a-hole will get you nowhere, says Gaethje to Tony Ferguson. He was stopped on his feet. Yeah, it's very odd. It's a very odd stoppage. I don't know. We'll have to see the replay.
That is... wow.
And Gaethje, excited and rightfully so, because he is the new interim UFC lightweight champion.
They blew it up. They blew it all up.
I mean,
Dana White has got to be kicking himself right now because the biggest draw at 155 pounds. Oh, that shot by Gaethje. A left hand sent Gaethje backwards, and Ferguson was just full of blood, and yeah, he looked out on his feet. That was it. That was it.
All right, let's see here this again. They're calling this a good stoppage.
Yeah, his lights went out for a second. He doesn't know where he is. He's done. He's cooked. He's fighting on muscle memory at that point.
Yeah, he was. There is a lot. There was him kind of shaking his head off, trying to shake off what was going on. I mean, I still think it's a weird stoppage, but I'm not the expert. If everyone thinks it's a good stoppage, I guess it has to be.
Wow.
That was a hell of a fight. Incredible. And
Tony Ferguson, who gave all that he could in an amazing effort, but Gaethje and Ferguson ended up showing respect to one another.
Eventually, I think Tony Ferguson was just initially very frustrated, perhaps with Herb Dean for making the stoppage while he was on his feet. Understandable, though, by Herb Dean. I mean, he was kind of shaking his head, knocked out on his feet a little bit. And then Gaethje proceeded to land a couple more. And Herb Dean stopping it, and we'll get the official announcement here.
Thanks to Bob Falfa for shouting us out for a great broadcast. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and joining us here tonight.
The winner by TKO and new interim UFC light heavyweight champion.
Lightweight champion.
Lightweight champion. Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Now 22-2-0. A hell of a fight, and a lot of respect from Tony Ferguson. And Rogan is going to interview him here. Oh, he just tossed the belt. And he asked him why. He's waiting for the real one, says Justin Gaethje. Justin, you came in here tonight because Nurmagomedov couldn't make it to the April card. You were slated to fight him on short notice, but you got the opportunity to truly prepare for this fight. And what a performance. Has it sunk in? How do you feel about the fight? I knew I was a killer stepping in here, he says. No better drug on earth. Adrenaline, says Gaethje. This is hard work. I worked since I was 4 years old. Each day at a time. Never look past one day. And you just have to be better than yesterday. That's all that it is. What we saw from you tonight is not just what we always see, says Rogan, says spectacular technique, but you were more measured, you were more calculated. Tell me about that. Gaethje says, I have a world-class coach. You can't fix what's not broken. Once I understood what was wrong, I was hitting him too much. And I was obviously having too much fun. Both times I lost because I was having too much fun. And this sport, you can't not do that. I was fighting the best in the world. I've been working since I was 4 for challenges like this, he says.
Dustin Poirier on Twitter said, I told everyone this was going to happen a month ago. They called me a hater. It's...
and saying he wants to fight Khabib. Khabib tweeting, no comment. That's a weird one. How do you tweet no comment? You'd have to be asked something to say no comment. Okay. Gaethje saying he's half Mexican. He knows who El Cucuy is. No surprise. When Herb Dean stopped the fight, were you surprised? Gaethje feels bad for him. Gaethje says, I feel bad for him. If that was him, I'd be pissed. And I told my coaches in the back, I'm ready to die tonight. And that's the attitude you have to come in here tonight. It's about not disappointing myself and my family and representing God to the best I can. Being the best, helping my neighbor. I live every day. If I wasn't this, I'd be doing social work or be a probation officer. I'm a killer in here. But as soon as I step out of the octagon, you will not see that in me. Rogan saying, in the biggest fight of your career, you prepared performingly. It's truly a spectacular fight. It's an honor to call. And he didn't want to shake his hand because his blood. Rogan says, I don't care. Shakes his hand anyway. Gaethje thanking his parents. You have to be a good parent. You have to lead by example. You can't tell your kid not to do something. You got to lead by example. That's how my parents raised me, and that's why I'm the person I am today. Lead from the front. Congratulations. And, wow. Oh, he's going to interview Tony Ferguson now. Rogan says, first of all, amazing fight. An incredible war. What did you expect coming in, and what, if anything, was surprising? Ferguson says, man, it's been a long fucking camp. Been preparing since November. Obviously, it didn't fall through with Khabib. Just a long camp. The weight cut had nothing to do with it. He's just a tough son of a bitch. I'm going to be real. Khabib, not too much of a striker. Shit happens. I would have much rather have it finished, rather have someone step in. Rogan saying you are a champion. That's how you would have wanted to go out. Give us your thoughts on what happens from here. Do you go back and reassess, or do you jump right back in? Ferguson says, let's go back. props to Justin for being a tough son of a bitch. And thank you for taking the fight. We did this, guys, for you people at home. Hopefully you enjoyed the fight. For my kid, I love you, son. And my wife. I love everybody and all of my family. Glad to see you. Tony Ferguson. Wow. That was a lot. That was a hell of a fight. And
I feel like we've all realized something here tonight.
What's that?
Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov will be the fight that never happens.
You think? I still want it to happen.
It's not a matter of us wanting it to happen. It's been canceled 5 times, and now Ferguson...
Now with Gaethje.
Yeah, Ferguson gets stopped by Justin Gaethje. The next fight's going to be Khabib versus Gaethje. The winner of that's probably going to fight Conor. And then after that, who the hell knows? Khabib may retire. Ferguson may retire or move up to welterweight.
I guess we'll never see it happen.
Who knows what's going to happen next? That's the problem, is we don't know what's going to happen next in the UFC. I get tonight. I get having this huge card to come back and to put everything on the table in the first non-pro wrestling sporting event to happen in the United States since the pandemic happened. But we saw in this weekend Jacare get coronavirus. Send him out for who knows how long, plus 2 members of his camp. We saw Henry Cejudo retire after fighting Dominick Cruz on short notice and not getting to fight Jose Aldo. Whether or not this is a contract ploy right now, we're never going to see Jose Aldo versus Henry Cejudo for the bantamweight title. On top of that, we're not getting Khabib versus Tony. And Dominick Cruz lost tonight in his first fight in 4 years. So instead of building Dominick Cruz back up to become a world championship caliber candidate, he went in there immediately against the champion and got stopped. Got stopped by the best bantamweight in the world right now. And now TJ Dillashaw's coming back into a division where he'll walk right back into a title shot that honestly he doesn't deserve. And you're walking into a bantamweight division that is featuring a lot of problems, and what's going to happen to the flyweight division now. There's so many questions that tonight the UFC have answered that they didn't need to, or
a lot of
have completely fucked up.
Whatever the
2020
plans were,
and 2021.
Whatever the plans were, they've completely changed. I mean, just that fight was so close, and it all hinged on one particular punch that Herb Dean decided to stop. I go back and forth on it, but everyone seems to think it was a fair stop. It's not exactly outrageous when you saw how hard and how knocked out he was sort of on his feet. But this changes a lot of stuff in the lightweight division completely. So, but it just creates a bigger star in Justin Gaethje. I think Tony Ferguson, even in this loss, was amazingly impressive. The story of this fight was that Tony Ferguson would not go down, and even the TKO is somewhat controversial. I mean, he took those. Even that knockout was on his feet. I mean, that's how sturdy he was throughout this. Took so many shots that would have knocked out other people.
And how does that affect Tony Ferguson's career going forward? This loss here, his first loss in 8 years, and thank you to Mr. Alquist for saying good points, and thank you guys for watching in the chat. We're glad you're still here. But what does this mean for Tony Ferguson going forward? Does he go back down? Does he have to fight someone in below top 5? Who's he going to fight? Is it going to be Ferguson versus Conor? Is Conor going to fight Masvidal next? The lightweight division right now, for the next few months, for the rest of this year, is a gigantic question mark, because Khabib may come back in July. He may come back in October. We don't know.
Well, I mean, it's one of those situations. There's a lot of interesting fighters in that division, including Conor. who he got the win in his return against Cowboy Cerrone. Does that mean he's in the title picture? No, but he's always fun to watch. I mean, there's a lot of great fights. So I think this changed a lot. I think a lot of people expected Ferguson to win, and that naturally would be the fight that we would see against Khabib. But you're right. At this point, it may not happen, just because, I mean, Gaethje obviously is in line for that. Yeah. He's the interim champion. So whatever that means, he doesn't seem to think it matters. He tossed the belt to the side immediately. Yeah. But wow, that was a hell of a fight, an amazing card, a great way to close out the card, a fantastic fight, and you saw a lot of great creativity from Tony Ferguson. Interesting, you saw him take a lot of shots, and it's a great way to bring back the UFC and open sports up in America.
But did sacrificing all of this just to get a show on the air hurt the UFC more than help it?
What do you mean, sacrificing in what
sacrificing
sense?
They sacrificed Khabib and Tony. Henry Cejudo is retired. Dominick Cruz lost and may retire again. And you saw, Ngannou and Rozenstruik, a lot of these fights could have been ESPN main events. Like, you're looking at this card and you're looking at...
they did make this card
Donald
very
Cerrone,
heavy.
Donald Cerrone losing again.
Yeah, but again, that's due to Donald Cerrone, and that fight was very odd, the finish of that fight as well. But that's not the responsibility of Dana to some degree. I mean, look, Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. It was a great fight on paper.
It's not an argument of...
And it was a great fight.
It's not an argument of
in
great
actuality.
fights. It's not an argument of great fights. It's more about the... I'm a booker. I'm a professional wrestling television writer. And you look at... And also just someone who runs or looks at sports as a business. You're looking at the long-term plans. And you're looking at the long-term build-out for this company. And the biggest money fight you had, the biggest fight is gone. It's gone. It's shot dead in the street. You're not going to get that back for maybe 2 years. And also, Khabib has been talking about retirement since before the Conor fight.
That's a tough situation, though. What do? Do you hold off with Tony Ferguson and make him sit out? And now he has to sit out. What would that have been now? About
July? Or you don't put him against Gaethje. You don't put him against the guy who's who's probably the toughest guy in the division to fight, who matches Ferguson stride for stride when it comes to striking.
But, you have to. I'm sure there's limitations of what you can do, certainly around this time frame, and also you have to create fights, and it's not Dana's responsibility to ensure that Tony Ferguson goes over.
It's not. No, it's not about. But
I get what you're saying, no doubt. But at some point, you have to put on competitive fights. You don't always get the fight. I think Dana, for the most part, has been pretty good with trying to give people the fights that they want. This is not as bad as boxing is, where you have to wait till people are in their wheelchairs to get Mayweather-Pacquiao together as they both bring colostomy bags into the ring.
Mayweather-Pacquiao. When you look at Canelo Triple G, these fights that took years to get into the ring.
They did.
And
they did, but for political reasons outside of the competitors. Of course,
but when you're looking at it now, like Joshua Wilder, that fight got ruined because Wilder had to fight Fury twice, and now he's going to fight him for a third time. When you wait too long or things get in the way, you never see those fights.
I mean, in all
it's
fairness,
GSP Anderson Silva all over again.
In all fairness, they tried on 5 different times to get that fight. They did try. It wasn't from a lack of wanting. It wasn't like boxing where they couldn't.
Dana White fucked himself because he couldn't figure out what to do with UFC 249. He sent Khabib home, and he was stuck. And then Ramadan happened. Dana White is his own worst enemy.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's his own worst enemy.
What else would you have put to headline this fight? It was a hell of a fight.
I'm not saying they made the wrong decision for this card.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about this card. I'm talking about the next card and the card after that and the rest of the year for this 155 division.
Well, I'd love to see Tony. Again,
we can argue this in circles all night.
One of the few situations where Tony Ferguson still looks amazing, even in a loss.
Oh no, he looked great. This was a great fight and a great card. But you need to look at those questions that are still going to be on the table.
Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor.
Yeah. that's going to be a bad time for somebody. I don't know who.
Right.
But
So
we want to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. It's just a little after 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. Hopefully we didn't keep you up too long. Thanks for listening to us, McLaughlin Group, this last portion of the show. If you got any, let us know if you got any comments or questions. Yeah, there's a Macho Man Randy Savage figure behind us.
There is.
Thank you to Tito Tarantula for shouting us out. Just look through the comments here. If you don't know, Justin Gaethje is the new interim UFC lightweight champion. Thismlematic says I'm like the MMA Jimmy Hart.
That's a compliment.
I guess so. Shout out to Case Hart's the video producer for us over at Bloody Elbow. Hey, buddy, and SBN MMA. How are you, friend? Good to see you. Glad you're awake. Just looking through here, the comments, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation and being a part of the show here tonight. Harry, anything else before we go off the air?
No, just excited to be back. I think it was a great pay-per-view overall, despite what it might do to all the fight divisions involved in it. I think it was a great way to come back. I think that was the idea, to really give something heavy coming in. And they came out blazing. Some really great fights, some really great results. Some controversy that I feel got lost in all the shuffle. Greg Hardy somehow winning that fight.
That was bullshit. Cerrone losing that fight?
Cerrone losing that fight. But a fantastic night and super excited to be back. And I'm always glad to have the opportunity to be here with you folks tonight and be here with you, Matt. It's always a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, this was awesome. We'll be back for UFC 250. I do not believe we'll be back for the Wednesday and Saturday cards, but you'll be able to follow along with me on Saturday, live tweeting at the MMA Mania Twitter account. So follow MMA Mania on Twitter. Be sure to follow Bloody Elbow as well on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Look us up across the web, and be sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and if you liked what you saw here tonight, share it around social media. Tag me on Twitter. I'll hit you with that retweet and a star. M Ryan Consulting. He's Harry Terjanian on Twitter. Thank you so much. We are really close to 100,000 subs here on SBN MMA, and we want to get over that line, and we want to do it with you, because you guys show up and show out every time we go live. And also, the more subs we have, the more we can convince them to go live. So if you like me, you like Harry, you like our live show here from the studio in Secaucus, be sure to do that now. Until next time, that's Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. So long from the Garden State, and we'll see you next time right here on SBN MMA.